Located on Chicago's lakefront and facing one of the most iconic skylines in the world, McCormick Place is the largest convention center in North America. It includes Wintrust Arena, and a big crowd will be on hand for Bellator 288. Two title fights headline tonight's card. After their first fight was declared a no contest due to a cut caused by an accidental clash of heads, champion Vadim Nemkov will once again defend the 205-pound crown against Corey Anderson in the World Grand Prix final, with $1 million bonus check going to the victor. In our co-feature, Patricky Pitbull defends the lightweight belt for the first time against undefeated #1 contender Usman Nurmagomedov. As for the rest of the main card, two-time featherweight title challenger, #7 ranked Daniel Weichel takes on Timur Khizriev, who sports a perfect record heading into his Bellator debut. #5 ranked heavyweight Tyrell Fortune takes on Daniel James, who won his pro debut under the Bellator banner 8 years ago. And fistic fireworks are all but certain when the undefeated Roman Faraldo and Levan Chokheli lock horns at welterweight. Heavyweights raise the curtain on tonight's event as Vladimir Gouvea, who turned 30 yesterday, well, his wish is about to come true. He's about to make his pro debut in the Bellator cage against 31-year-old Corey Moegenburg, who makes his sophomore Bellator appearance.
Tail of the tape for this heavyweight matchup. Take a look at the size there, 265.8, and he's cutting weight, so he's walking in here a whole lot heavier to 246. We'll see if that weight makes a big difference.
Big John McCarthy and yours truly, Mauro Ranallo, set to call the action cage side with the official introductions. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome as Bellator MMA returns to Chicago tonight from Wintrust Arena. We get the Bellator 288 prelims underway now with 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. At 5'10", weighing in 246 pounds even. His professional record 2-4. He fights out of Ottumwa, Iowa, presenting Corey the Monster Moegenburg. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 265.8 pounds, making his professional debut. He fights out of San Francisco, California, Vladimir Blanca Gouvea. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Mike Simarusti.
The birthday boy from yesterday, Vladimir Gouvea, hoping to blow away Corey Moegenburg faster than the candles on a birthday cake. While Corey Moegenburg, he hopes to be Mo Problems for the guy making his professional debut. Bell in round 1, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division, and they waste little time in chucking leather. Moegenburg attacking the legs of Gouvea. Gouvea whipping a body kick into the midsection of Moegenburg.
Gouvea getting a little bit cocky there, sticking his chin out already. He's felt the power of Moegenburg. He's not impressed, getting a little wild.
And a little wild with the swinging punches, but that left hand connected on Moegenburg's beard. Moegenburg has proven to be durable again, looking to earn his first victory in Bellator after losing to Bailey Schoenfelder back at Bellator 265 in August of last year. Looking to bounce back from his 4th loss in this opportunity here in Chicago tonight against a guy who was under the bright lights for the first time.
He is under the bright lights, and that's a huge element when you're looking at this. Doesn't matter who you train with, how much you've done. When you get under the lights and it's just you and that other guy in the cage, there's a whole lot of butterflies going, a lot of nerves, and that can have an effect.
Lucky for Gouvea, he gets to train with some of the best in the world at AKA in San Jose, California.
Gouvea needs to stop winging shots from the side so much, a little bit more with being straight coming down the pipe.
It looked like Moegenburg was going to don the cape and attempt a Superman punch. Instead, eats the jab from Gouvea. Moegenburg going downstairs with a calf kick, and While it's not always technical, there's a nice sharp technical jab and a winging right-handed Gouvea going primetime Vanderlei Silva. Moegenburg, those wide shots, they leave a big opening, but he's been able to put it on Moegenburg here in the opening round.
But you saw how effective when he shot that straight jab down the middle. It touched Moegenburg, and that's what he needs to do. Set up that right hand by using that jab.
You build your foundation with the jab takedown by Gouvea. Moegenburg controlling the posture of Gouvea. Gouvea has experience as a BJJ brown belt, competed in several jiu-jitsu competitions in Brazil. And goes for the crucifix.
Already in the crucifix position. You see how easily he moved there. And that is going to be a lot of weight for Moegenburg to have to try to get off of him right now. And you see him turning towards a north-south position. Arm kind of stuck in the legs. There's a little bit of a squeeze. He'll be able to move that out. But right now, Moegenburg's got a big, heavy man on top of him that can do a lot of damage with short strikes like elbows.
Gouvea in side control, working his jiu-jitsu under the guidance of one of the gurus of the Gracie family, Health Gracie. And again, working with the likes of trainer extraordinaire Javier Mendez. And now in the half guard of Moegenburg, posture, and now piston-like left hands to the face of Moegenburg. Gouvea looking to light up Moegenburg with the ground and pound.
You saw that posture. As soon as he got that posture, that's when he was effective with those strikes. You were able to utilize all of that space to gain power, but it does give your opponent the ability to move.
Gouvea landing at a 2-to-1 clip compared to Moegenburg, who forced to work from his back and forced to eat more leather from Gouvea. Gouvea said he wanted fans to be excited to watch. Heavyweights go at it, and here in his professional day, working and that striking game as well.
Gouvea passing that half guard, getting into the. He can put knee on belly here. There's a lot of things he belly
on cue
and right to the back, and that's why you do the knee on belly, especially when you're a big man. It is not a comfortable position.
It's almost like you watch Tashley know the sport of mixed martial arts.
Every now and then I get lucky.
Fantastic stuff. A fantastic job. We're watching the heavyweight announcement. Bellator, yes, for the first time between the champions. The fabled looks for a submission.
Yeah, he was looking against. Look, beat me the. Trust me, next, and I can't wait to watch that fight.
Have MMA's original broadcast to listen on CBS and now Bellator MMA. It is show or make that Vladimir Gouvea, who treated Corey Moegenburg like the Wilson volleyball was treated in that Tom Hanks movie. As we go to round two, on a good start for Gouvea, just celebrated his 30th birthday. A lot of nervous energy coursing through the veins.
And it's expected. This is your first time, man. You want to do so well, and you want it to be fast, but you need to take your time, and you need to break someone down, and that's what he started doing at the end.
And there is Health Gracie,
that's right,
who's going to probably tell him to do the exact same thing you're saying.
He's going to tell him. You see how the fight went once you took it to the ground. That knee on belly worked well. Let's go right back to it. And when we talked about the straight shots, those are the ones that really worked well for Gouvea as he was getting in. He went a lot of winging big heavy shots this side like we're seeing right there. Now that's going to leave your chin out there also. So if Moegenburg can catch him in the middle of one of those transitions of throwing those shots, he can touch his chin and put him down.
He's got to be careful not to break his wrist as well, throwing punches like that and hitting those tiny bones there. But make no bones about it, Vladimir Gouvea feeling the first round of this fight. They touch gloves and then resume hostilities here in the second stanza. Moegenburg serving as the first opponent of Gouvea's career. Gouvea, confidence is not an issue.
No, confidence is an issue, but the one thing that we saw out of Moegenburg when he fought Bailey Schoenfelder is he's durable. He will take some punishment.
He just took some there.
And not every fighter can sit there and be the nail for a while and come back. We've seen that Moegenburg will do that. He'll take some shots, but he'll come fighting back, and being able to get up off of the ground, this is a good thing for him.
It's Vladimir Gouvea mixing up his offense, resetting, does not respect the power of Moegenburg. Hands a little low, but continues to land lefts and has had a good left hook that has landed, while Moegenburg continues to try to chop away at the lead leg, and may have just done so because Gouvea switched stances.
Yeah, you can see right away, you know, that it looks like it's nothing, but it adds up. And all of a sudden, when you switch stances, it's telling you, well, it's being effective.
Yep. Paralyze either, what is it, the perennial nerve? The
perennial nerve, run it down.
There's again that lead left hook by Gouvea that connects. Moegenburg backs up.
Gouvea needs to stop throwing ones, though.
And there's that catapult right hand, the overhand right connects, and there's a 1-2 from Gouvea, now picking up pressure and pace.
Moegenburg having a little bit of a problem there. That right hand connected well.
So does that left consistently. Clips Moegenburg, and Vladimir Gouvea punches in bunches, and the referee steps in. Happy birthday, Vladimir Gouvea. Welcome to Bellator MMA. And what a professional debut, gets the stoppage just like he wanted to.
It is not easy, and he went in there and he fought really well. Big looping overhand, and just like you're saying, he's hitting that to the side. That is how you can break your hand. But some of these were really effective and landed and hurt Moegenburg. That you can tell he felt it. Beautiful left hand straight, but then he starts giving the clubs a little bit. That's not a whole lot of good stuff. The knee is looking much better, but then he goes and he gets the finish from the referee saying that's enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 1 minute, 46 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, now an undefeated professional, Vladimir Blanco Gouvea.
Simply put, you take a look at this featherweight matchup, 1-1 against 3-0. Both guys very young in their MMA career, but both with a ton of talent.
Very young, very hungry. Let's get the official introductions from Michael C. Williams.
For those joining us tonight on the live stream on YouTube at both channels, Showtime Sports and Bellator MMA, we welcome you to Chicago as we get set now to go 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner, at 5'7", weighing in 144 pounds even. His professional record undefeated at 3-0 from Guayaquil, Ecuador. He fights out of Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, presenting Matias Babyface Nader. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner, at 5'10", weighing in 145.4 pounds as a professional. Early on, he stands at 1-1 out of Clovis, California. He fights out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Isaiah Hokit. And once again, the referee in charge, Mike Simarusti.
26-year-old Isaiah Hokit, representing the vaunted Jackson Wink MMA Academy in Albuquerque. Matthias Nader seeks his 4th consecutive first-round finish. Inside kick, and immediately Nader moving forward. Nice counter left hand from the southpaw. Hokit on the jaw.
You're going to see Hokit trying to put a lot of pressure. He believes that pressure is going to be the key against Nader, based upon Nader's very strong, he's explosive, but he does not do anything halfway, and that's going to gas him out.
Smart pressure, smart pressure, smart pressure. Smart pressure. The words from the Jackson Wink MMA Academy. Level change by Hokit and secures the takedown.
And that's exactly what they were looking for. Smart pressure, meaning keep him busy, make him work, and then when you can take him down, do it. But we've seen that Nader in his last fight had a beautiful triangle choke submission against Fenicle. He's going for that same technique right now. If you're Hokit, you want both arms in, which he does have, even though it looks like he's trying to extend that one. It's not in a position where he's going to get that arm bar. But it did at least put it in a position where Nader was able to get back to his feet based upon that attack.
And it might also make Hokit, who has a great wrestling background at Drexel and Fresno State, to reconsider the takedowns, considering what he's met with so far from the debuting fighter Nader.
You know, and in talking with his coach, Greg Jackson, they're going to use that takedown as a tool, and they're going to do it multiple times. He will take him down, and he will get back up, he said. He goes, we want to make this guy work. We want him to have those mat returns. We want him to think that he's going to get comfortable, and all of a sudden that pressure's back, and he's just going to start getting exhausted.
Hokit showcasing a diverse striking attack, some great hand speed, good punch placement, putting punches together in combination. Now Nader in the southpaw stance throws a kick off balance.
Nice return. You see those counterattacks by Hokit. Those are very clean. He's moving his head just a little bit off the center line as Nader comes at him and then returns. Clean counter strike right there.
And Hokit looking for an elbow. Stepping into the elbow attempt, and Nader feeling the pressure of the southpaw Isaiah Hokit. Nader's kick was caught, and then Hokit sweeps the right hand across the jawline of Nader. So Hokit dictating the terms of the fight and putting the pressure, the effective aggression on Matthias Nader.
He's doing a great job. You know, again, this is his third professional fight. Here he goes again, back to that takedown like we were talking about.
Use the strikes to set up the level change, high IQ.
Absolutely, and this is what he's been learning while he's been at Jackson Wink, and that's why he went there. It's all about, it doesn't matter if you had that background in wrestling, you've got to learn the theory of fighting. One
of his main trainers training partners at Jackson Wink has been Aaron Pico. You have an update on his health status.
Yeah, it was Aaron Pico until Aaron ended up having to have shoulder surgery. He had extensive shoulder surgery based upon that dislocation when he fought Jeremy Kennedy. But they say it all went well, and he will be back probably within 6 to 8 months.
We wish Aaron Pico a speedy recovery. I'm sure he's enjoying Isaiah Hokit's handiwork thus far. As Nader, though, snatching a hand, looking for the submission underneath again. Hokit stacking them along the fence just past the midway, or make that 90 seconds left in the first. Almost thought I was back in a boxing broadcast there. It would have been the midway point of a 3-minute round. That won't be until December 17th next.
But again, you've already seen 2 takedowns. You've seen Hokit be able to control the position. When you see Nader bringing up, especially in that last sequence, looking for that change of position to get the submission, he was not in a place that that submission was going to work, and he took a lot of shots from Hokit. We had an eye poke, and that's the reason we have that stoppage. You can see Nader stick those fingers out.
Good. Yep.
Rub the eye there of Hokit.
Watch your fingers,
absolutely.
All right? Timer, fight!
Matthias Nader from Ecuador, but now fighting out of Wisconsin. And coming up on the final 60 seconds of the first round, and Hokit able to drop Nader with that kick.
And that's just catching him off balance. It was that hard of a kick, but he had the timing of that kick, and when he did it, right back into the wrestling situation. And this is when you're starting to drown, Morrow. This is not an easy thing for Nader because he's not getting through in the stand-up. He's taking shots. The takedowns he can't stop. The best he's been able to do is off his back throw up those submissions.
With 30 seconds left in the opening round, Hokit has secured 3 takedowns, 3 for 3 in that department, and continues to wear down the debuting Matthias Nader with 20 seconds now left in the first frame. And Hokit goes to the body, then quickly upstairs, putting together right hands to the side of Nader's head, trying to posture, but content in riding this good opening round out for Isaiah Hokit.
Round.
First Bellator MMA event to emanate from Wintrust Arena here in the Windy City of Chicago. Isaiah Hokit, Matthias Nader begin round number 2 of their scheduled 3-round featherweight contest. And for Hokit, begins to again, put the pressure on, deliver, but Nader trying to be more aggressive coming forward. And as always, sage advice from Greg Jackson in the corner as he gets clipped. Does Nader by Hokit.
Well, the reason Nader's getting clipped is if you watch as he's coming in, he's starting to duck his head down. You cannot take your eyes off your opponent. That is not going to keep you from being hit. You've got to be able to look and see what your opponent's throwing at you. And right now, Hokit is just starting to take this fight over. I think his coach and Greg Jackson is saying exactly the right thing. And again, you see it. The wrestling background takes him down, has the top position, but will get up. He doesn't care. He wants to use that as a way to break him.
Opening minute of the second round, and Johnny told us that in this fight, he wanted to show everyone he's a well-rounded fighter, not just a wrestler. Well, he's definitely proving that thus far.
And you can see, just take a look at the body language right now of Nader. He has taken a lot of heavy shots. See how he's just backing off there.
There's a body kick by Nader, who is in trouble here as
he's now in that survival mode. He's not even thinking about trying to win this fight now. It's about, how do I survive what's happening?
It's Hokit strafing the body of Nader, now simply target practice.
And
going
Hokit needs to figure that out.
Nader desperately looking for the takedown.
Hokit needs to figure out, I've broken him, so let me put him away. Don't just sit there and play with him. Put him away now.
And that's exactly why he wanted him back on his feet. Head kick, right hand. It is simply target practice for Isaiah Hokit, who is humbling Matthias Nader in Nader's Bellator debut. And how much more can Nader absorb?
Yeah, he's not going to be able to take much more. Right now, he's just trying to hold that leg. It's not going to do anything. Hokit makes him get back to his feet. He's been punishing him on the feet right now. Nader.
Oh, nice uppercut. Lead right uppercut by Hokit on Nader. And Nader struggling to just stay standing. And yet there's a right hand that lands.
Volume, Isaiah. Volume, Isaiah.
Man, talk about a one-sided advantage.
Yeah, take a look at that. 33 of 62 for Hokit. 3 of 11 for Nader. So what it's telling is Hokit doesn't have anything come his way, so this is nothing more than a sparring match.
And anytime you're landing 50% or over, it's a very good...
This referee needs to stop this fight because this guy is not competitive right now. When he's starting to hide in the fight, that's not...
Nader has his back, puts the hook in. Nader desperately trying to turn things around.
Hand fight, Isaiah.
Waistlock by Nader. Trying to buy himself some time, John. I agree with what you were saying, and here we are now with Nader not in a position to really do much more than survive.
This is good for Nader in the fact that even though he's going to lose this position, just like he just did, he wasn't absorbing any damage, but now he's back to absorbing damage.
Hammer fists, left hands, knees. Finish Isaiah. The call from the corner, and he is very much on the verge of finishing a gutsy,
the referee should be stopping the fight.
Overmatched Matthias Nader. Right knee, Nader doubled over.
It's a punching bag right now. This isn't fighting. There you go.
Stay here,
About time.
Isaiah Hokit improves to 2-1 as a pro, and here in Bellator MMA with a dominant display against an outgunned Matthias Nader. I know different styles, but shades of Usman Nurmagomedov in terms of the way he mixes up his kicks in the attack, and these young fighters who are putting together their creative flows.
Yeah, and you see right here, Hokit, that beautiful low kick goes out to the stand-up, and at this point, Nader is nothing more than he's a punching bag. He's just trying to survive in this. It was about time the referee stopped that. I thought that was a late stoppage. He should have done it long before.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially. 3 minutes, 48 seconds. Round number 2, the winner by TKO, Isaiah Hokit.
Again, looking to get back on the winning track as we go to the tail of the tape.
He is looking to get back on the track. 33 years of age compared to the young blood of 24 in Laird Anderson. This should be an outstanding matchup.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at the Bellator 288 prelims, we'll stay right here in the featherweight division. Again, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 146 pounds even. His professional record, 2 wins, 2 losses. He fights out of Rockford, Illinois. Rob Big Papa Georgia Fenicle. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 145.6 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 2-0. He fights out of San Jose, California, presenting Laird Anderson. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Laird Anderson says he goes to sleep thinking of being a better martial artist, and when he wakes up, he does anything he can to progress in the sport, looking to go 3-0 against Rob Fenicle. 33, but just his 5th professional fight. And we mentioned Anderson's father, Lowell, competed in 1 UFC fight, but it was a memorable night, UFC 22. He lost to John Lewis, but the main event, one of the first true UFC classics, Frank Shamrock upsetting Tito Ortiz in what was Shamrock's swan song, undefeated at 5-0 in the octagon, brother. And there's a level change.
Beautiful job by Laird Anderson. I don't know if that was an upset. I thought Frank Shamrock was the favorite in that one, but great win by Frank Shamrock long ago.
Bigger Tito Ortiz.
Yes, definitely bigger than Frank.
And that's why considered to be much too much to handle. But hey, you're way ahead of the game. One of the pioneers of how conditioning became a weapon. In fact, Frank said it best, conditioning is my best submission.
Absolutely.
And it proved to be that night.
Absolutely.
And it's become a foundation for the sport.
Look at the effects of Frank Shamrock on this sport still linger today, and people understand that you can break people with your cardio, something that Frank did often.
Speaking of AKA, that's where Anderson fights out of. Again, another of that impressive pipeline in Northern California. Trains with his brother, Elias Anderson.
Beautiful, heavy shot, but again, a little overextended. Almost got caught there. Nice job of getting himself back squared up with Fenicle. Laird right now is in a position he's very comfortable with. He knows exactly what he wants to do. You see him, he's just taking his time to gain space. And when he gains that space, he's trying to land big, heavy shots. No little body head with him.
Yeah, Anderson, a young black belt at 24 years of age, but again, born into the family business.
From the moment he was born, he was put on the mat, learning jiu-jitsu, learning how to wrestle. It was just part of what the family did.
Is that where Lowell Swaddledon was on the mat?
Probably.
2 minutes have elapsed here in the opening round, and it's all Laird Anderson.
Beautiful short elbow. He's in half guard now. Very strong position for him. You see how well his leg is bringing that knee up towards the armpit area of Fenicle. He's utilizing his head for pressure points just to drive Fenicle's head over. Everything he's doing, very smart, very tactical. Ground and pound is an absolute art form unto itself. You cannot sit there and think, oh, it's easy to do. It has a skill set, and Laird Anderson's very good with it.
Hall of Famer Mark Coleman will appreciate you saying that. The godfather of ground and pound midway through this opening round, and it's Anderson continuing to put that topside pressure on Fenicle, and Fenicle from the half guard, unable to hip escape, shrimp out.
Nice job of trapping the arm there. You see that knee on the ground. Now Fenicle's got to bring his arm inside of it. It's not easy to do. Now he's in he's in a crucifix position. Laird's just trying to free his one leg. Now he's into that side control position. Now he's got that arm. Now he can open up with that left arm.
The crucifix and the elbows.
Big elbows.
From Anderson, smashing down in the face of Fenicle, trying to use the fence to help him escape this dire position.
And a beautiful choice as far as, this is where you talk about a smart fighter. Doesn't go to just punches, slices down with the elbow. That's going to cause more injury, more cuts, and get the attention of the referee quicker.
Corey Anderson will try to do the same thing in the main event in that rematch of the light heavyweight Grand Prix final. We've seen him do massive damage with elbows in his career, but it's Laird Anderson now. Fenicle, whose victories have both been via heel hook, has found himself in the clutches of Laird Anderson more than he would have liked in this first round.
Fenicle has figured out that, you know what, there's levels to grappling, and he's a good grappler. He just hasn't reached the level right now of Laird Anderson. Laird has been able to dominate the position. Beautiful elbow strikes like we just saw there.
They're communicating to each other.
Yeah, just a little bit of information he was telling him right there.
45 seconds to go here in the opening round. Continues to be top control for Anderson, has also at different points controlled the arms now from the vertical base. Crashes back down on Fenicle. 30 seconds remain in round one. And it was Anderson trying to pass the guard.
A lot of output by Laird Anderson, but if you're Rob Fenicle taking all these shots, it adds up. It just drains your gas tank.
Yeah, Anderson has been credited with landing 21 strikes compared to 6 for Fenicle here in what has been a dominant round for the unbeaten Laird Anderson, and maybe Anderson may be trying in the Bellator MMA featherweight division as you unpack what you saw in that first 5 minutes, John. What impressed you the most? Oh, there was an impressive left hand from Fenicle to initiate contact here in the second round as they swing at each other.
Yeah, Fenicle not having his hands up.
A kick to the face by Anderson.
His arms are heavy from that first round, trying to hold on to Laird Anderson, trying to control a little bit of the damage that was coming his way.
I guess to finish the point I was asking you, it's, well, Laird Anderson again, level change, takedown, much of what we saw in the opening round, so much to like from Anderson, and obviously a 10-9 round for Anderson on your unofficial score.
Absolutely, it's definitely 10-9, almost verging into the 10-8 there. There was a lot of shots, some heavy elbow strikes, just not quite enough damage.
And Anderson looking to do damage with ground and pound. Wide base. Trying to deliver strikes. Fenicle trying to neutralize the attack and does so momentarily.
Seeing all this you're seeing as he's trying to hold on to those arms and everything. He's squeezing hard, and it's not saying anything wrong with it. It's stopping some of the attack of Laird Anderson. But your arms get tired after a while. And that's why when you see him get up and his arms seem a little bit heavy, a little bit slower, that's the reason why. Lactic acid building up.
Anderson always looking to test himself in all facets of fighting, including the mental game, which, you know, according to the cliches, it's all mental. And Laird Anderson, who has sat under the learning tree of not only his family, but some of the best minds in the sport, showcasing that IQ and showcasing his growth as a fighter in this matchup tonight.
Nice job of slicing through on that. Now he's free, right into a crucifix position. He's got the arm, he can go for the Kimura, and just opening up with elbows.
Looking to open up.
See, and that is not a good position right now for Fenicle to start throwing knee strikes to the body. It's not going to do anything. He's got to get his arm out.
Ground, and now it's
very nice.
Anderson looking to open up Fenicle like a double click as he's got the crucifix and raining down the left hands. Fenicle unable to defend. And it's over. Laird Anderson vanquishes Rob Fenicle in impressive fashion.
Once Laird Anderson decided to take the fight back to the ground, Rob Fenicle had nothing but problems in stopping the movement. He just progressed position all the way to this beautiful crucifix, took the arm, buried it deep, and then just started landing heavy shots, both punches and elbows at times. Fenicle has no ability to defend himself intelligently, and that's why Kevin McDonald came in and stopped the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Kevin McDonald steps in, waves off the contest. Your official time, 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Round number 2 for the winner by TKO still. Undefeated Laird Anderson.
For this middleweight matchup, you can take a look. Jordan Newman, an outstanding wrestler, 73-inch reach. Jaden Taulker, more of a boxer with a 71-inch reach. We'll see if he can utilize that smart inside style to hurt Jordan in this fight.
Here once again, Michael C. Williams.
To all those joining us across the UK tonight live on BBC iPlayer, we welcome you to Chicago here in the States as we get set now for 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 185.6 pounds. His professional record 2-2. He fights out of Findlay, Ohio, Jaden the Tank Taulker. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 185.6 pounds. The undefeated professional enters with 4 victories, no losses, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Jordan, not human, Newman. In charge, your referee, Rob Madrigal.
Jordan Newman, 2-time Division III National Wrestling Champion, will look to use his wrestling against Jaden Taulker, who feels that he will have the edge in the stand-up department. In this, his first fight in Bellator MMA, had a chance to catch up with Newman's coach, Duke Rufus, who very high on this fighter and really high on the next generation of fighters coming up through Rufus Sport.
Well, he should be high on Jordan Newman. Jordan's an outstanding athlete, great wrestling. He's got a mean streak in him, and it's one of the things I really like about him as a fighter. He's calm, relaxed, but when he gets in the cage, he wants to do damage. He doesn't want to just win. He wants to break you. He wants to finish you.
And Newman showing Taulker that, hey, you shouldn't talk about striking because he's got the early advantage, and there's a left hand right down the pipe, bouncing off the face of Taulker.
Well, you can tell that Duke has done a little bit of instruction with Jordan Newman now in his stand-up game. That left hand has been right down the middle multiple times, and it's already opened up Taulker.
Counter, right hook, lands 4. Newman fighting out of the southpaw stance, both of them southpaw. But of course, we're seeing more and more in MMA, and due to the elements of the sport, you better know how to switch and be comfortable from both sides.
Yeah, the more comfortable you are being able to go from both sides. Newman right now does not have to worry about that. He hasn't really taken any kind of damage from Taulker at this point. He's just measuring the range, looking at the distance. Nice attack with the knee.
Taulker switches stances, trying to feint, moving to his right, and we've seen that right hook already land for Newman. Coming up on 2 minutes gone here in the opening round.
One of the things when you're seeing Taulker being in that orthodox stance.
There is Duke Rufus and the rest of the Rufus Sport coaching staff. Go ahead, Johnny.
Newman has been winning that foot placement. He's always been able to put his foot to the outside. That's what's going to lead to that left hand straight down the middle.
Coming up on the midway point of the opening round.
Don't look for the perfect knockout. Stay busy.
That's exactly what his coach is telling him right now. All Jordan Newman needs to really think about, just touch him. Don't worry about how hard it is. Throw your hands nice and comfortably out there. And the more you touch him, the quicker he'll go down.
Composed, methodical. Newman in control, the center of the cage. Taulker trying to figure out a way to navigate a path to some kind of success, but instead Newman clips him again as Taulker moves forward.
Taulker at this point has not really been able to figure out how to get within range to do damage. Obviously, that was a nice overhand right by him right there. It's only when Newman is the one that's making these encounters occur.
And Jaden Taulker at 27, simply inspirational to be here tonight. Has had myriad issues with his health, and both physically and mentally. One time weighed almost 300 pounds, and yet has worked his way into shape, has found his calling, and now hoping to make the most of his Bellator debut against a fighter who's definitely on the come up in Newman.
Yeah, he's definitely on the come up. But one of the things I really want to comment on is, Jordan Newman is known as a wrestler. This guy's been an outstanding wrestler, Division III champion, NC2As, but he's just all striking, like you're saying. It's like, but I like the fact that he's not rushing in for the takedown. He's doing well in the stand-up, and you've got to have these fights and these moments where you say, I need to work myself into that shot. If I'm going to do it, I'm not going to just raw dog and take it just because I'm a better wrestler.
Well, Newman told us his fight game continues to evolve, and he can't wait to show how well-rounded his skills have become. And here in the opening round, showing continued improvements in the striking department. This is with the head kick, calf kick counter by Taulker. So a opening round that was contested only in the stand-up department, where Newman and Taulker both had some success. Just rewards as Taulker and Newman begin round number 2. Newman immediately storms the center of the cage, putting pressure on Taulker. Taulker going down low with his attack.
Well, Taulker's had some success with that low kick. He's landed that a lot during the first round. The big difference maker in that first round for me, that left hand of Jordan Newman. It found the target, and it had power on it throughout the round.
Taulker pawing, and there's Newman crashing to space, but gets clipped on the counter from Taulker. Taulker, Demolition Fight Team. Head trainer Gary Young. Of course, we've talked about Duke Rufus. And of course, home of champions like Sergio Pettis. And of course, Rafion Superstot's going to get involved in that semifinal with Danny Sabatello. Understand you get a chance to speak with them coming up later tonight here in Chicago.
Yeah, I get to speak with the Italian gangster.
You try to get a word in edgewise.
That's not going to be easy.
Really looking forward to the semifinals as Newman comes forward on Taulker. Taulker able to escape.
He needs to be careful of lifting that chin up, though, as he's coming forward. Taulker had a chance of touching that.
Newman continues to be measured. There's the kick by Taulker. Taulker, much more movement. Spinning kick misses for Newman. And as we've talked about, and talking to Duke earlier, saying that we would see different wrinkles in Newman's game. We know about his wrestling credentials, but content to keep it standing against the debuting Taulker.
Yeah, what Newman needs to do right now is settle himself down into, keep that chin tucked down into his chest. And when he comes forward, there you go, comes forward, land more than ones. You want to be going in combination. going in combinations. Don't just be going in combinations. Don't just be throwing one shot and expecting it to do something. Go with your combinations. They're going to get you a lot farther.
Second time that Newman has detonated a knee attack, blood flowing down the face of Jaden Taulker. Midway point of the second stanza, Taulker moving around the perimeter, but unable to get inside, move into the pocket where he would try to at least slow down the pressure of Newman. Now they crash into space. Newman changes levels, and Newman has Taulker on the fence and immediately to back control.
And that's what we're talking about. Use your hands. You're going to get into that wrestling situation. Now he's got the back.
First takedown. Taulker going to try to get back to his feet, but Newman now going to try to put a hook in, it looked like. Now going for the rear naked choke.
Yeah, he's trying to get that hook in so he can secure himself in the back. That blood's not going to help Taulker in keeping that choke off. Nice job by Jordan Newman. Taulker trying to fight the hands here.
Well, Taulker's going to find it hard to talk. He has a sore throat after that rear naked choke from Jordan Newman, who improves to 5-0 and picks up the first submission win of his burgeoning career. You would think he'd be a little happier about achieving his first submission triumph. And
ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time 3 minutes 20 seconds. Round number 2. The winner by submission, still undefeated, Jordan, not human, Newman.
Artell, the tape for this, you just got to be honest. Look at 4-0 versus 3-0. Everything, as far as everything else, really doesn't matter. Both these guys believe in themselves, have confidence, and both want to come out with a win.
Despite just being in the embryonic stages of their careers, somebody's always already got to go. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
See, and I didn't do that.
Tonight here at Wintrust Arena, the Bellator 288 prelims go now to a featured fight in the light heavyweight division. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner. At 6'5", weighing in 205.6 pounds. His professional record, 3 wins without a defeat. He fights out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Jay, the Hybrid Radick. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'3", weighing in 205.6 pounds. As a professional, he too enters undefeated, bringing 4 wins without a loss. He fights out of Mesa, Arizona, Sullivan Cauley. In charge, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Sullivan Cauley, one of Ryan Bader's main training partners, Bellator heavyweight champion, while Jay Radick, his 3 victories also all coming in the first round. So this one could get lit very quick. And of course, we heard the news, Bader defending the heavyweight crown against Fedor in a rematch. Bellator MMA debuting on CBS Saturday, February 4th of next year as Radick debuts a head kick in his first Bellator fight, backed up to the cage, immediately turning the tables on Cauley.
Very nice job of getting those double unders right away by Radick, driving him to the cage. Not going to be an easy takedown, especially with his hands where they're at. He's got to get him very high or get him down low to the hips. Nice sweep of the leg.
And the jump on the back. And
just one little mistake.
Yeah, and the mistake, and Cauley's going to make him pay.
You know, you do all that good work, you have that momentum going, and then just one thing. You try to, make that big leap. Big movements usually can result in big results, either good or bad.
Yeah, he's already made the big leap of stepping into the Bellator.
Oh, he's out.
And he is out cold. Sullivan Cauley, 5-0, 5 knockouts. Mama Mia.
He has coming in here. He knows now. Here's a mistake. There's a beautiful outside trip, and then he tries to jump the back, and when he does, he falls to the ground off of it, and then Sullivan Cauley takes over the top position, and that was part of the undoing right here. Watch the big shots here. Sullivan being able to control that hip position. Watch him post. And as he posts right there, that big shot, he's out. That shot right there, that's the one that hurt him, and that one puts him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end suddenly. 1 minute, 1 second, round number 1 for the winner by knockout, Sullivan Cauley.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Sullivan Cauley. Sullivan, that fight started off fast. He got double unders on you. He tried that outside trip, and he tried to jump on your back, and that was the mistake that gave you the opportunity to get on top.
Big, strong guy. He was fresh when he caught me with that body lock and the head position up against the cage. I was kind of stuck there for a second. You know what I mean? It kind of had me pinned there. So I tried to be patient, wait for my little opportunity to slide out, and I got it. He tried to jump to my back, which, you know, can be risky against a guy like me who understands good position. He got off balance and saw my opportunity and seized it.
When you got to the top position, it was a short right hand that actually hurt him bad, and then you put him away with the second shot.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't think of myself as a crazy power puncher, but I keep touching these guys and they keep going out.
Go out he did. That was an impressive win. Who is it now at 5-0 coming in here? Who is it that you want next in this cage?
So Ryan Bader's fighting Fedor, beginning of February in LA. I want to be on that card. I don't care who it is. Put me on that card with my boy Bader.
Sounds good to me. I look forward to seeing it. Congratulations on another big win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sullivan Cauley. Very simply put, take a look. 5-0 for Archie Colgan, 2-1 for Jesse Big Rig Hannam. Both guys are very young in their career. This should be an outstanding battle.
I mentioned Hannam being here for his fiance and his son, while Colgan's here for his beautiful wife and his handsome baby boy, as he puts it. Speaking of handsome, let's go to Michael C. Williams.
For all of you just picking up the live stream on YouTube and Pluto TV, we welcome you to Bellator 288 as we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. At 5'8", weighing in 155.8 pounds, his professional record: 2 wins, 1 loss. He fights out of Ottumwa, Iowa, Jesse Big Rig Hannam. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 154.8 pounds, he enters tonight undefeated at 5-0. He fights out of Denver, Colorado, presenting Archie Colgan. In charge, your referee, Mike Simarusti.
Colgan looking to remain unbeaten, while Hannam looking to win his Bellator debut and knock Colgan from the ranks of the undefeated Bell. And round 1 action in the Bellator lightweight division.
See that nice little movement by Archie Colgan, just dropping levels, changing levels. He's making Jesse have to think about that shot coming in both as a wrestler and with his hands.
And it was Hannam landing the first shot, the calf kick to Colgan, but Colgan, both of them feinting, both of them using movement, level changes. There's a 1-2 that already drops Hannam, and immediately Colgan putting it on Jesse Hannam in the opening minute of the first round.
Jesse Hannam's going to have to work his way back up. Beautiful
takedown.
Beautiful mat return right there.
And it is over. Striking, wrestling, perfect record.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to a conclusion. 50 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, Archie Colgan.
I am lucky enough to be standing here with Archie Colgan, a man who is on fire now. That is a big win, quick, 6-0. How are you feeling about your decision to become an MMA fighter now?
I feel great. I felt great about it 2 years ago, and I feel even better now.
You look so comfortable in this cage at this point. You were doing a beautiful job changing levels, just deciding when you wanted to attack with the hands. He was a little bit off balance when he went down, but you attacked him, mat returned, and then just opened up on him again.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch it and see exactly what happened, but, you know, when he went down and I jumped on top, you know, the way he balled up was just almost like fetal, so I just went to the attack.
At 170 pounds, you have the wrestling, you have the power in your hands. We saw it in your last fight. Who is it that you want to take on next, if given the opportunity in this cage?
Man, I guess early 23, right? That'd be what I'm looking at. There's, you know, I took that fight, my last fight, on 3 weeks' notice against Montalvo. I'd be down to get that one. And if we're climbing up the ranks, I don't know, somebody like Cauley would be cool too. So there's a list of people, but we'll just see what happens, and I'll be ready.
February, Dublin, Ireland. Bellator is going back. Maybe we'll see Archie Colgan against Peter Quilley. Ladies and gentlemen, get up, put your hands together for a man who is on fire, Archie Colgan. Take a look at that 76-inch reach. That is huge for a lightweight. Killys Mota's going to have to get past that. He's going to try to use his kicks since he's only at 71.
With the official introductions, here is Michael C. Williams.
And we welcome once again all those joining us late night across the UK live on BBC iPlayer as we go now here in Chicago to 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6 foot, weighing in 155.6 pounds, undefeated as a professional. He stands with 7 wins, no losses from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting Jairo Pacheco. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 155.6 pounds as a professional. 13 victories, 3 defeats from Registro Sao Paulo, Brazil, presenting Killys Mota. In charge, your referee Jason Herzog.
Killys Mota, 5 wins via first round knockout or submission, 3 KOs, 2 subs. Pacheco literally still trying to fight out of the favela he was raised in Rio de Janeiro. He knows a win here tonight will change his family's life.
It's quite a bit of motivation right there.
Pacheco told us that he would let his hands and feet do the talking for him here in this fight, and it's Mota who delivers the first strike. There's a teep push kick to the midsection by Pacheco, and both of them using their feet to begin this fight. And there's a 1-2 through the guard for Mota.
That was a very good low calf kick that you saw Pacheco hit Mota with. He needs to go back to that as often as he can.
And as you mentioned in the tail of the tape, it's going to be Pacheco looking to utilize his length advantage and already showcasing a very educated right foot there. I think the degree comes from DePaul University. Men's and women's basketball team play here at Wintrust Arena. There's a jab, nice counter from Mota. Both deliver kicks. There's a lead left uppercut. Immediately Mota looks for the level change in the takedown. Well defended thus far by Pacheco.
Yeah, Mota got into him on that. That was a nice body shot that Pacheco ended up landing, but Mota now into that. He's just trying to get those hands clasped together. Good job by Pacheco to not allow that to happen.
And the jockeying for position continues in the clinch, and there's mat return by Mota from the waistlock right into side control.
That's not an easy thing to do when you get a guy with that body lock and they're really long and they're going to drag their feet on the ground. Very difficult sometimes to get him down. That was a great job by Killys to actually elevate him up and get this thing to the mat.
Both of them in their respective careers, and Mota with more experience, more than twice as many fights as the 7-0 Pacheco, but they've well-rounded. Some knockouts, some submissions, still gaining a lot of experience, and here Pacheco neutralizing the hands of Mota.
Yeah, Pacheco
really
doing that, but he put himself in a position now. He's now turned away from the cage. Now he can't utilize that cage. So you got to look, and this is where we're talking about how smart are you going to be.
Oh, hammer fist.
Very clean hammer fist by Killys.
Ground and pound, and so Mota now having freedom with his hands begins to punish Pacheco.
Killys Mota hitting very heavy shots. You could see how they had an instant effect on Pacheco.
Under 2 minutes left here in the opening round.
Beautiful, nice job by Killys Mota to close in with that leg, put it on the arm. You see that baseball grip that Pacheco is using to try to keep Killys off of him. Nice technique.
90 seconds here in the opening round. Mota working from the half guard top position. And Pacheco against the fence, trying to find a way to get out from underneath the pressure and the smothering attack of Killys Mota. Seatbelt.
Pacheco needs to keep that hand as far as you see him posting. He needs to post off of that hand. You see Mota trying to reach out and grab a hold and lace that arm back.
Under a minute now left in the first round, and Mota with the positional advantage on Pacheco. Pacheco trying to keep Mota from unleashing another attack. Mota able to deliver a couple of right hands to Pacheco's body. And of course, Pacheco, John, wearing the weight of Mota, the mental, physical pressure, the grinding attack. And so for Pacheco, already facing adversity in the first 5 minutes of his Bellator MMA career.
And then, when coming into a new organization, it is not easy. You want to perform so well, and you're just trying to make sure that, you know what, I stay in this fight right now. Pacheco needs to just take his time, keep himself safe, get himself out of the round.
Lightweights, Mota, Pacheco, end of one. To round number 2 of this lightweight encounter between Killys Mota in the red gloves and the debuting Jairo Pacheco in the blue gloves, and immediately both of them storm to the center of the cage, feinting. It's Pacheco delivering the kick. And again, Pacheco delivering multiple kicks with either foot, John.
And doing a nice job of bringing them down low, up high. He's mixing it up.
There's a right hand from Mota through the guard.
Oh, that was a nice clean hand.
Falls in looking for the takedown and was successful on one of 2 occasions in that opening round, and able to put Pacheco on his back early in the second stanza.
Look at what Mota is telling you is, all right, I felt what you are like down there. I understand how good you are, and I believe that I'm better. And he's taking him back there because now he can do damage while he doesn't get damaged himself. This is what makes Killys Mota a good fighter. He's fighting smart. That is fight IQ, saying, why am I going to be in the stand-up with a guy that's so long, so rangy?
Mota, been a pro since 2013. Pacheco a pro since 2018. And again, we talk about the experience edge, and for Pacheco, who we've talked about it, John, athletic, physically strong, and trying to be active off his back here. Hammer fist from Mota, but again, Pacheco trying to create something.
He tried to create, you saw him reach in for that leg, but you saw right away Mota took and clamped down on that hand. There was no way for Pacheco to upset that balance, and that's why you saw Mota able to land that big hammer fist.
Speaking of big hammers, Mota getting to work with the likes of Steve Mako at ATT's Coconut Creek.
Anybody who knows about Steve Mako, man, that was a mean wrestler. he liked to hurt people when he was wrestling. And now he's a great,
about us that we're laughing.
Great coach at ATT, though.
A sadistic SOB.
Yes, he was.
I think I was thinking about us
Maybe,
too.
it maybe still is.
All right, Mota, no laughing matter here for Mota and Pacheco again. Every moment in the cage counts. You are, again, especially for Pacheco, we've already documented the fact that as we speak, his family remains in the favela, the ghetto of Rio de Janeiro, and we've seen so many fighters emerge from abject poverty to become legends.
Absolutely. The latest, if you're going to look at someone that grew up in the favela, Charles Oliveira.
Yep.
You know, look at what he's done. He has just been fantastic.
Well, this crowd obviously has been spoiled tonight. We've documented the fact that every fight has ended inside the distance, and not happy with the static display of Mota on top of Pacheco, who is sitting against the fence.
As you see Mota with that figure four on those legs, when you see those feet up off of the mat, there's no way that Pacheco is going to get himself up from this way. He's got to get his feet free. He's got to at least get one down to the ground so he can start to turn over to get his knee to the ground, use his hands.
Somebody in the building tonight who's very good at doing what Mota has done. The Eagle had a pretty decent career, I think.
Not bad career at all.
And Mota looking to put, well, does have the hook in, but Pacheco seems to be stymied, John.
He's having a hard time just with all the elements coming together to get himself back to his feet. He tried doing the submission game out in the middle of the mat. That didn't work for him. Now he's got himself with his back to the cage, but he has not figured out how to get his legs clear so he can get himself back to his feet. And he's looking for help from the referee. That's never a good sign.
Opportunity to get to his feet here, and Mota with the waist lock, back elbows being delivered to the face by Pacheco. Mota puts one hook in, trying to flatten out Pacheco perhaps. Under a minute left in the second.
And again, you can see Pacheco looking up at Jason Herzog. Quit looking at him. He is not your friend. He's not there to help you. Get yourself out.
And there's knees being buried into the thigh. The right thigh of Jairo Pacheco, now on his feet, coming up on 30 seconds left in the second, but Mota makes sure he doesn't stay on his feet long.
Yeah, he didn't land too well on that either. His head got a little torqued underneath him. That's a lot of weight coming down.
We see Mota put in the one hook, John, but unable to take it much further. He's trying to just neutralize Pacheco.
Let's just be honest. Pacheco obviously has very big hands, and he's been able to risk control Mota to the point where Mota has no idea how to really get his hands clear.
This Wintrust Arena has Killys, Mota, and Jairo Pacheco engage in action here. They both come out chucking leather, and we talk about Pacheco's background. Hey, Mota fought his way out of the same favelas in Brazil, and now he's taking Pacheco for a ride and putting him on his back.
And in my opinion, Pacheco has got to figure out something in this round. He's got to become offensive. He's got to do some damage. He's got to finish. In my opinion right now, he's got to finish Killys Mota if he wants to get the win.
Pacheco trying to control Mota's hand. A minute gone here in the final round, and every second that ticks off the clock, 1 second closer to, well, Pacheco tasting defeat here in the Bellator cage, and not a defeatist attitude by any means, but frustrated for sure. The body language even there, like you say, it almost looks like he's waiting for the referee to do something.
Yeah, and you take a look and you go, look, at this point, his coach knows, he should know, look, you're way behind in this fight. An L's an L, man. You got to go for it. Open up. If he ends up, taking your back and you end up getting put out of this fight, okay. But don't sit there and just let the time run by, because you don't have a lot of time. Nice job by Achilles. If you're seeing that arm is trapped now in that leg. You see his right arm. That glove is pinched between the thigh and the calf of Killys Mota. That is not a good position for him. He's got his left hand to help him protect himself. But if Killys realizes it, opens up with that left hand. Now he's got the arm free.
Midway through the final round, and Pacheco needs to try to find a way to get back on his feet, back into this fight. Cannot accept this position, and again, much easier said than done when you have Killys Mota on top of you, working from half guard. And again, Mota with the figure 4 around both of Pacheco's legs. And that will take away the base and any escape route, John.
No, not right now. Not with where his legs are at. He is not going to get himself up. He has got to free those legs. He's got to push on the hips, shimmy those legs out of that position so he can at least get one leg down on the ground, get a knee there, start to build a base so he can get back to his feet. Now you're seeing Mota lace that left arm. That is not a good position. He's breaking him down, climbing up on top. Nice job by Killys Mota. This is good fighting. And again, you're seeing Pacheco, look towards the referee.
With the ref, it's only
he wants to
him to blame.
He wants to have a friend in there, and there is none.
And Mota, and again, Mota obviously doing enough on top from that dominant position, and for him as well, coming back after a 2-fight losing streak, beating Dan Moret via unanimous decision. An opportunity here to try to maybe close the show in the final minute.
And look, he's taking on a guy that was an undefeated fighter coming in. This guy with a lot of confidence, having a chance to actually prove himself in this fight. So, you know, Pacheco came in here guns a-blazing, wanting to get rid of Killys, and Killys done a great job of shutting all that down.
Killys Mota 4 for 7 in the takedown department. Outlanding Pacheco 51 to 18 in terms of total strikes.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance for the first time, tonight we'll go to your judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges, Brian Pacello, Mike Bell, Scott Jones, all have it exactly the same at 30 to 27, all for the winner by unanimous decision, Killys Mota.
Tail of the tape for this middleweight matchup. Just take a look, 8-0 right now for Aliev, 16-7, but be cautious when you're in there with Fallon. He is a very good submission fighter.
Will it be experience or will youth be served? Time to hear from Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here in Chicago, the time has come to conclude the Bellator 288 prelims, and we'll do it right now with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 185.6 pounds. His professional record, 16 wins, 7 losses, presenting Sean Connor Fallon. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 185.8 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated, 8 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Imamshafi Aliev. And the referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Aliev, Fallon, set to close things out. here at the Bellator 288 prelims, and Fallon working with Corey Anderson. Anderson has moved to the Indianapolis area, joined Fallon's team, so Fallon gets to sharpen his iron with some great iron in the form of Corey Anderson, and Fallon coming forward here on Aliev.
Yeah, Fallon really trying to utilize that jab, keeping it in his face. Nice right hand over the top by Aliev.
Counter right by Aliev, and Fallon goes for the kick, caught by Aliev, trip, takedown, and Aliev looking to pass guard, but rubber guard employed immediately by Fallon. Again, we talk about Fallon's pedigree, all about the submissions, John. Very comfortable on his back, but Aliev looking to make him as uncomfortable as possible.
And if you take a look at that position right there, Aliev is in. He's in a great position to get an arm triangle if he can get past those legs. Beautiful shoulder pressure. You're seeing that shoulder in that throat area of Sean Fallon. That is not comfortable. And don't worry about the guillotine. It is not there right now.
Aliev coming off his first arm triangle choke win in his last fight. That was in August of this year.
That was nice of Sean Fallon to get him back to guard, but right away you saw Aliev step over it, ride it back into half guard.
It's funny, we have Aliev, who was going for an arm triangle, comes off his first arm triangle choke win. Now Fallon was obviously not in a position there, but the guillotine attempt coming off a guillotine choke win. But here's a creative effort here by Fallon off his back.
And what you're seeing is Aliev is feeling that neck pressure, because there is pressure on his neck, and he's trying to back himself out. You don't have an actual submission here, but what you do have is a crank on that neck. It's not comfortable.
Aliev relieves of the pressure, but Fallon continues to try to control the head from the closed guard.
Well, all that was good by Sean Fallon, because he utilized that to get himself from that half guard back into a full guard, which opens up his submission game.
Fallon, a BJJ brown belt. Aliev felt he had an advantage on the ground despite Fallon's credentials, and now Fallon busted open. Fallon, knowing he's been cut, gets up and starts firing punches.
Yeah, that was a clean right elbow that opened him up.
And Aliev takedown, but Fallon looking to attack the neck again, but yeah, an elbow just cutting Fallon open. And now a Pollock painting beginning to form on the back of Imamshafi Aliev.
And Aliev just driving forward. Beautiful job, getting position, bringing his hands together. Good shoulder pressure. Right now his head's in that position, but it's not in danger.
Stop! Stop! Time!
Referee calls timeout to have the cut inspected.
Let's go over there. You go over here.
And as John mentioned, an elbow strike, legal strike, opening the cut.
Over here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that elbow strike. Right here, you're going to see him just take it. He's going to swing his elbow straight through. Beautifully done. Outstanding technique by Aliev. Watch how it comes right down the middle. There's no way for Fallon to truly block it. It just opens up that cut. A well-placed elbow. That's beautiful technique.
Doctor trying to staunch the bleeding there, and of course, if he is unable to, or they determine that he is unable to continue due to the cut, it would go down as a TKO victory for Imamshafi Aliev, who nailed him with an elbow, and that's exactly what's happened, John. So an elbow leads to a Bellator MMA victory for Imamshafi Aliev, now 9-0 with his fourth TKO, and you got to feel for Sean Connor Fallon.
How this elbow is thrown, because when we talk about an elbow being thrown the right way, watch how he places his hand right through the middle and turns the arm over, bringing it straight down, bone on bone. That is just a beautiful technique, the way he did that. He didn't swing it to the outside. and that's why it landed as clean as it did. Just a beautifully executed technique by Aliev. Nothing that Fallon could do. And the fact that, you know, they're going to stop it, I understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, upon the advice of the cage-side physician, referee Kevin McDonald, due to the cut, waves off the contest officially. 3 minutes, 20 seconds, round number 1. The winner by TKO, Imamshafi Ali.
Double main event, 2 title fights. Vadim Nemkov, light heavyweight champion, runs it back with number 1 contender Corey Anderson in the $1 million final of the light heavyweight Grand Prix. Patricky Pitbull makes the maiden voyage of his lightweight title reign and defends against the undefeated number 1 contender Usman Nurmagomedov, who is competing in his first 5-round fight. Former 2-time featherweight title challenger, number 7 ranked Daniel Weichel, participating in his 56th professional fight. He takes on newcomer Timur Khizriev, who is 11-0. Action in the heavyweight division sees number 5 ranked Tyrell Fortune take on Daniel James, who won his pro debut in Bellator, returns 8 years later to try to tame Fortune. And a guaranteed barn burner to kick things off. Knockout artist Roman Faraldo, ranked number 10, Levan Chokheli. 17 of their 18 combined wins have come via form of knockout. Wintrust Arena in Chicago will be rocking. Join us for Bellator 288. Tonight, it's a tale of 2 championships in the Bellator cage. The light heavyweight Grand Prix final is the culmination of a circuitous path to a redux of the championship showdown. Instead of crowning the division's king and celebrating a presentation of the $1 million bonus check, we witnessed an anticlimactic ending.
The fight was stopped due to an accidental clash of heads. The fight has been ruled a no contest.
This night, we expect closure to the tourney, and for Nemkov or Anderson to cash in on the big prize. In our other title fight, it's a battle of legacies and bloodlines. Lightweight champion Patricky Pitbull is following in the footsteps of his renowned and highly decorated younger brother. The undefeated challenger, Usman Nurmagomedov, has his own celebrated lineage.
And there it is! Usman Nurmagomedov getting it done in scintillating fashion.
This is his opportunity to join his fabled cousin, Habib, as a belt holder.
I just want to fight for title.
Could the winds of change blow through Chicago? Or will the champions continue to reign?
Look at the tail tape for this welterweight matchup, and it is a fantastic one. Levan Chokheli at 10-2. Unbelievable stand-up, good ground, 8-0 with power. Roman Faraldo, this is going to be fun.
From the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, it's time to kick off the main card of Bellator 288. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Chicago for Bellator MMA Live on Showtime from Wintrust Arena. We extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us tonight live on AFN, the American Forces Network. Here at Bellator 288, we get underway with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.6 pounds, his professional record 10 wins, 2 losses from Tbilisi, Georgia. Introducing Levan Chokheli. And And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170.8 pounds, the undefeated professional stands perfect with 8 victories, no defeats. By way of Key West, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, the Renaissance Man, Vicious Roman Faraldo. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Rob Madrigal.
Roman Faraldo has 6 wins via first-round KO, including his previous 4. He's never fought past the second round. Levan Chokheli, 9 of his 10 wins have come via first-round KO. He has 7 wins by KO in under a minute. Calf kick immediately delivered by Chokheli, and
he stung him already.
Chokheli gets stung as Faraldo lands the left hand. And what about Faraldo calling a shot? And now, speaking of shots, a shot by Chokheli looking for the takedown, and Faraldo has to be careful. Don't hang on to that cage.
Now, there is no doubt he used that cage to keep himself from going face first into that corner section of the cage. Chokheli had talked about utilizing a good wrestling attack to wear down Faraldo, take away some of that power, and then knock him out.
And immediately Chokheli going for the choke.
But he does not have his legs attached, and so that's going to cause him a problem. He's going to end up underneath in this. He's got to hold on to that head as much as he can, but Faraldo's in a good position. He's the top position. High head will win in this position, and this is where you're seeing Levan Chokheli trying to hold on to that. Nice job by Roman Faraldo to get himself out.
Delivers a knee as they continue at close quarters, and then delivers a combo on the break. That movement from Chokheli. Throws the right hand, goes back to southpaw. Minute and a half gone, and you almost feel it, John. The tension in the air, knowing that at any time, this fight can end.
Boy, both of these guys are throwing heavy shots.
Kick, knocking Chokheli off balance. Faraldo coming forward, and they are both throwing with bad intentions, as expected.
Faraldo doing a very nice job of switching from orthodox into southpaw.
Telegraphed that shot, and it was stuffed by Faraldo. Judo throw right into full mount. Beautiful sequence by Roman Faraldo.
Outstanding hard gauche. Drives him over the top. Beautiful takedown by Roman Faraldo.
And I always thought it was Hare Goshen. I think it is. 2:45 left in the first.
You want to put it in the end.
No, and Faraldo with a beautiful start to this fight midway through the opening round, ground and pound, delivering those sledgehammer-like elbows, and now Chokheli was giving up his back, but beautifully turns into Faraldo. Great grappling sequence here, John.
That was a very nice move by Chokheli. A small mistake by Faraldo allowed him to be able to turn inside of that and end up turning the position. That's why a lot of guys don't like going to mount, is there is that chance that you can end up on your back with your opponent in guard.
Faraldo's 5-fight Bellator winning streak at welterweight, tied for the second longest active streak in the division, behind current 170-pound champion Yaroslav Amosov with 6. And chants over Roman begin to echo throughout Win Trust Arena, the native of Key West, Florida, the southernmost point of the United States.
Right now, as you're looking, Roman Faraldo, he's moving his hips. He's actually trying to land some shots. Levan Chokheli he's holding on at this point. He's really not trying to do any damage. Now he's getting some space, but cannot let this time go by. He has the opportunity to do damage, and he needs to.
Chokheli and Faraldo trying to get back up. Chokheli in top position, working from half guard. That knee shield being put in place by Faraldo. And he controls Chokheli's posture for the moment. Coming up on the final minute of the first.
And right here in this position, being close is good for Roman Faraldo. Space is not going to be good as far as that allows Chokheli to put power on his shots.
Final 45 seconds of the opening round. Hammer fist from the bottom by Faraldo. Now Chokheli postured, looking to ground and pound. Missing with a lot of those shots, however. Now tries to pass guard, does so at the back of Chokheli with 30 seconds remaining in the round.
And in that scramble situation, Faraldo needed to continue to turn that corner, and he stopped, and that's what gave Chokheli the ability to take that back.
Side control, Chokheli. Final 10 seconds. Chokheli looking for a crucifix potentially, but just pressure on Faraldo on the ground. Second round. Faraldo lands the right, and then Chokheli responding wildly, looking for the takedown, but Faraldo again looking to fire the kill shot here in the second. The head kick blocked. And another kick from Chokheli blocked.
Beautiful job by both guys going at it here. Faraldo is a little bit crushing his space. He has got power. You can see when he just lands the effect it has on his opponent.
Chokheli fighting out of Kaizen MMA in Virginia, also working with Phoenix Sport Academy in his native Georgia. And again, Faraldo looking for that judo throw, but this time Chokheli able to fend it off and ends up in top position in the open guard of Faraldo.
And right there you saw Faraldo going for that same takedown. Yep. This time Chokheli said, oh no, not gonna work a second time. I figured it out.
He's done his homework.
And he brings it back to the backside and now has Faraldo on his back.
And it's all about the adjustments, John, on the fly, knowing that how evenly matched up they are in so many departments. You want to make sure that you are the one imposing your will and skill. And for Faraldo, who finds himself on his back here in round number 2, hasn't had to taste a lot of adversity, going 5-0 with 5 first-round finishes, but Chokheli giving him a tough night at the office here in round number 2.
Yeah, right there you would have liked to see Faraldo be able to push off on the hips, but Chokheli quickly moved himself off to the side into side control position now. Faraldo needs to get that underhook. He gets this near side underhook, get his hand in there and start to build a base back into Chokheli to get himself back to his feet.
Chokheli feeling the pressure as well, coming off a loss to Goichi Yamauchi at Bellator 279 in April when he was submitted by the current submissions leader in Bellator. And now it's Chokheli looking for the submission on Faraldo.
That was a nice heavy shot by Chokheli right there. Faraldo needs to fight those hands, make sure he doesn't let that arm slip around, get that lock in. Good job of getting back to his feet. Oh, very heavy kick by Chokheli. Well timed and well placed.
And Faraldo going to the body, push kick by Chokheli. Faraldo's currently ranked number 10. Chokheli wants to take that number from him. Now Faraldo putting his weight on Chokheli as Chokheli looking for the takedown, but running out of real estate along the fence, scooping the single.
That was a beautiful dip and rip with the left hook by Levan. Chokheli landed cleanly. The big difference we're seeing is Chokheli is able to do some damage on Faraldo where everybody else we've watched have never had that opportunity.
You know, Chokheli knows all about Dagestan's wrestling pedigree, the reputation. He's like, hey, don't forget us Georgians when it comes to grappling.
Roman using a nice whizzer on top. Needs to bring that leg back, extend those arms on Chokheli.
Minute and a half left in the second round, and Chokheli determined to get the takedown as Faraldo has the underhooks. And now Chokheli pulling away from the fence and creating some separation. Nice lead left hook curling behind the guard of Faraldo. Faraldo lands a straight left and a nice left right from Chokheli, but Chokheli got staggered by Faraldo. And Chokheli hanging on, trying desperately. He's been rattled, John.
Been rattled multiple times, but he's always made it through so far. It was the real question after all this wrestling maneuver. How are their arms? Are their arms getting heavy? Faraldo still has snap on his punch.
This has already been the longest fight in Roman Faraldo's burgeoning career. We mentioned he's never been past the second round. 30 seconds from going to the third round. Here as he drops elbows on Chokheli. Chokheli looking to just take him off his feet.
Well, the referee just took a point from Faraldo for grabbing the fence.
And that's happened on another occasion in the fight. So Chokheli with the advantage there with Faraldo getting a point deducted. Faraldo up in top position, full mount, trying to steal the round, but again, he's had a point deducted.
That's right. That was a round won by Faraldo in my opinion, so that goes to a 9-9 based upon the point deduction. So right now, Levan Chokheli's ahead on my scorecard. Roman Faraldo needs to win this round, not to only try to win the fight, but could be a draw.
Outside low kick delivered by Chokheli, backing up as Faraldo marches forward and slips the left hand and almost lands a counter left of his own to Faraldo. Faraldo again with a chopping combination.
Faraldo's landing with a lot of power. The only problem is at times when he's coming into Chokheli, he's getting too close, which is kind of stifling his ability to get his strikes on.
And it's Faraldo with the advantage in the total strikes landed. Fighting out of American top team under the tutelage of Mike Brown. And that great crew in the Sunshine State. Good exchange, John.
Very nice exchange. Chokheli actually, he stung him with that. You saw Faraldo actually freeze for a moment.
Calf kick by Chokheli.
Chokheli showing that his arms are heavy, though. He is tired at this point.
His hands are at his waist. There's Chokheli with the right cross.
But notice that Chokheli's punches are coming from the sides. Big looping shots. Faraldo needs to go right down the middle.
Faraldo blocked that head kick. There's a counter right connects for Chokheli, and Faraldo feeling that shot. And Faraldo coming forward with an uppercut.
Faraldo ate that thing like it was a Toll House cookie. Like he just loved it.
Left hook, right hand. Here's Faraldo left of his own. The pace has slowed as Chokheli level change and gets the takedown. Butterfly hooks by Faraldo. Half butterfly now, but this is a critical takedown for Chokheli at this stage of the fight.
Absolutely, because all he's got to do is hold on to this position, just do a little bit of damage from the top. He's got to win, in my opinion. So Faraldo's got to work. He's got to work to get himself back to his feet. That point deduction was huge in the second round.
Faraldo trying to control Chokheli's posture. Open guard against the fence past the midway point of the final round. The fans anticipated fistic fireworks. You look at the numbers, that's what everyone expected. But hey, mixed martial arts, and Levan Chokheli knowing full well Faraldo's record coming in the fashion in which he did his business. Smart game plan, smart strategy.
Absolutely smart, but they've seen some fistic fireworks because when these guys have been on the feet, they've been throwing heavy leather and just blasting each other.
Levan, you need to improve.
Referee saying that Chokheli needs to impose. He's in top position, trying to create separation. And yet for Faraldo again, has to find a way to try to get this back to his feet. Piston-like shots, ground and pound from Chokheli.
Very nice job by Chokheli. See, that was the moment right there. Faraldo had a chance. There was space.
Yes.
That was your time to move. And instead, he was just unable to get there based upon being just a little bit tired. Everything is just hurting now.
Well, again, uncharted waters for Faraldo as we look at the strikes landed here in round 3, and a huge edge for Chokheli with a minute left in the fight. And perhaps a minute left in the undefeated record of Roman Faraldo, barring a dramatic turn of events here in the final 50 seconds, Joe.
Absolutely. But this has been a fantastic performance by Levan Chokheli.
What's impressed you the most?
He's used heavy strikes. He's used good stand-up. He's used the wrestling. He's done everything right in mixing up his attacks. He's taken big shots. He's gotten close to get time to get himself back in the fight. He's been very good throughout this matchup.
And regardless of the outcome, a learning experience for both. And for Roman Faraldo, 20 seconds left, remains on his back, pinned against the fence, smothering pressure from top position by Chokheli, but now back up to a vertical base. But Chokheli uses his striking, his wrestling, his complete arsenal.
You know, lacking would be the wrong thing to say. It's that Levan Chokheli was not lacking. He was up to the task of putting it on Faraldo also. He stood up to the heavy strikes. And when he got hurt, he used the grappling to get himself back into the fight as far as taking time.
I meant Faraldo. What was he lacking in terms of his overall fight? Because he was unable to reverse his fortunes from this position.
First thing he was unable to do is gain the space that he needed to finish when he did hurt Levan Chokheli in the second, is when he was taken down.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 non-stop rounds of action, we'll go now to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges at cage side, Brian Pacheco, Mike Bell, and Scott Jones, see it exactly the same at 29-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Levan Chokheli.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw up on that board, the Bantamweight World Grand Prix is in the semifinals, and on December 9th, the Mohegan Sun, we will have a main event featuring Danny, the Italian gangster Sabatello, up against the interim champion, Rafion Superstats. Danny Sabatello, come on up here real quick. You guys have had a lot of words, have been saying a lot of things. In fact, he just said up on that board that you earned yourself an ass whooping. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, this standing across from me is a little. I wish I was fighting him tonight in front of this beautiful Chicago crowd, but we're gonna have to wait for December 9th for me to carve up the space.
Rafion Stotts, you are the interim champion based upon your beautiful victory and knockout of Juan Archuleta. You have said some things about him. He has said some things about you. You just heard that. What is your response?
The fact of the matter is, who want to see me this dude up? And that's the bottom line. I'm f***ing you up.
Ladies and gentlemen, on December 9th, you're going to see Danny Sabatello, the Italian gangster, against Rafion Superstats for the interim championship and a chance to get to the finals of the Bellator Featherweight World Grand Prix.
This heavyweight matchup, when you look at it, it says 6'2" for Tyrell Fortune, 6'6", 264 pounds for Daniel James, and he is cutting to that because he's walking to this cage at least 275.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
Live on Showtime, Bellator MMA now features the heavyweight division scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the blue corner. At 6'6", weighing in 264.8 pounds, in his return to the Bellator cage, he brings 13 professional victories, 6 losses, 1 draw, hailing from Chicago, Illinois, presenting Daniel, the American Predator, James. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 257.2 pounds, ranked now at number 5. His professional record includes 12 wins, 2 defeats, fighting out of Tempe, Arizona by way of Portland, Oregon, introducing Tyrell Fortune. And the referee in charge, Rob Madrigal.
Tyrell Fortune out of Arizona Combat Sports with 5 wins via first-round TKO. Daniel James out of Midwest Training Center, 5 first-round finishes, including 4 KOs. The heavyweights getting ready to throw down. Six, cutting down from 280 pounds to make 265 is Daniel James. Hey, Tyrell Fortune, 6'2", and as you mentioned, John, has the speed factor because of the size and the ability to use that lateral movement, but the American Predator just caught a kick, and he is looking to feed Tyrell Fortune some ferocious punches.
And that is exactly what Daniel James does. He's got very good defensive wrestling. He's spent a lot of his career working with Curtis Blades on his wrestling, and so his defensive wrestling is actually really good when he gets up against the cage. He puts a lot of weight on you. He makes you carry that weight. That's something that Tyrell has to be very cautious of. I don't want to carry this man's weight. If he starts to put so much weight down on me, I want to break off and reestablish. Get to the single leg. Don't go to the double leg so you get stuck underneath.
Well, for the American Predator, as my former broadcast partner, Boss Rudin, would so eloquently put it, just took one to the pills.
Tyrell brings the knee up right here. Comes right up. Hits the top of the cup there. A little bit of a reaction from Daniel, but Daniel's a tough man.
You got time.
Shot to a place that's anything but the toughest part of a man's anatomy, except for the cup is the only thing protecting him. And he took a nasty knee, but like you say, John, he came back to Bellator. He's here to earn a living for his family, and he's always wanted to compete in Bellator. He's been singing the praises of this promotion for a long time, and 8 years after winning his debut, he's back against a guy who is number 5 in the rankings.
Look, this is a big chance, and like I said, Daniel James was fighting in Eastern European countries.
And the takedown.
That's what you want to see out of Tyrell Fortune. Put the big man on his back. Now his weight means nothing. And now start to posture and do some damage.
Fortune, a 2-time state wrestling champion in his home state, Arizona, and also an NCAA Division II national champion at Grand Canyon University.
That's right, also a world team member.
So he knows his wrestling.
The man knows how to wrestle.
And for Daniel James, now sitting along the fence, maybe trying to find a way to use his ample size and girth to try to get back to his feet, use his hips, but Fortune right on top of him.
Well, there's a little battle going on right here. That's, you see, I say, Daniel James knows I can't let him start to push me to one side or the other. I want to keep myself with my back on that cage, and I want to post to get up. But right now, you're seeing Tyrell Fortune taking and controlling that left leg. That's not going to help in getting Daniel James back to his feet.
Fortune also delivering shots to James' body, making the investment here in the first round, and James has to be careful with those elbows. And grappling going on. 2 minutes left in the first round.
Tyrell needs to utilize his head right now. Use it as a third arm. Start to drive Daniel James to one side or the other.
Fortune said something to the referee.
Said he's grabbing inside of my glove.
And while Fortune continues to neutralize the left leg of James, it is incumbent upon Fortune to maximize this position and do damage on James along the fence.
And that's the one thing you're not seeing. Tyrell is doing 0 as far as damage in this. He is controlling the position, but controlling the position is not scoring him any points.
But not for long, as he's trying to stay on. James back to snatches the rear naked choke.
James needs to get that top hand off.
Tyrell Fortune, 1 minute left, looking for that rear naked choke.
Tyrell going more towards the palm to palm. grabbing hold of his fingers there.
He has one submission win via RNC. It came back in August of 2019 against Rudy Shafroth. His only submission win, but he is on the verge of spoiling Daniel James' return to Bellator.
No, Daniel James has got that. He is in control right now. He had that. Now he just went back to it. Nice job by Daniel James to turn inside.
Good reversal by James, but he was holding on to the fence.
And this is a bad position.
And
underneath Daniel James.
The reversal of Fortune for James on Tyrell Fortune. Final seconds of the round. This Chicago crowd erupting. Wow, what a turnaround for Daniel James.
And this is the difference. Look at, we have control and now we have damage.
James credited with landing 20 strikes in that opening round compared to just 8 for Fortune. Fortune 1 for 1 in the takedown department. And John, your unofficial scorecard.
Oh, he's out. That was a big shot.
Cut by Fortune.
Fortune is in trouble. You cannot have this guy hitting you like that.
By James. Elbows to the back of the head, but it's over. Daniel James, the American Predator.
Here's another angle. Watch the big-time uppercut. Left hand misses. Right hand on target. Hits the chin.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 27 seconds into round number 2 by TKO. The winner, Chicago's very own Daniel, the American Predator, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your hometown man, Mr. Daniel James. Daniel, let's talk about that fight. He took you down in the first round, but you were able to keep him from doing any real damage to you. And when you finally get to the point where you fought off that choke and you turned the position, you opened up. How much did that give you as far as confidence going into the second round?
Well, John, man, first off, thanks, Chicago. I love y'all so much. Like, love you. Like, I can't even, but that first round, you know, we worked our game plan, and we knew that we wanted to get the guy to commit to a takedown. So we focused on a lot of uppercuts. This fight was going to be won by uppercut or from a ground and pound. I said that yesterday in our meeting. But today, when he put me in that choke, it been times that I said, you know what? He wasn't committed to that choke. And we big boys, I felt it. I felt myself blacking out. But I'm like a fish, I breathe underwater. You know what I'm saying? I call my second win. And it's showtime. It's showtime. At showtime in Chicago. I'm telling you straight up. Let's keep it going, Chicago. I'm in the building. Make some fucking noise. It's not enough. Make some noise now. Let's go.
You hit him. You missed with that big left hand, but that uppercut that you're talking about, it touched that chin perfectly. He was frozen going down. You jumped on top of him. You ended this fight. That was a fantastic finish. This is your second fight in the Bellator cage, but they came about 12 years apart, it seems like. But who is it that you just took out the number 5 guy with a big-time win? Who is it you should be fighting the next time you step in here?
Well, I am number 5. I'm number 5. Excuse me, but Scott Coker, I'm here, baby. You need some, you need a pretty chocolate heavyweight. I'm here, let's go. Straight up, we got the market, we get everything. My hair long, I look good, I'm Bill Dice. Let's go, I can fight, I'm number 5. What's next? Stop waiting. Let's go.
Chicago, get on your feet and give it up for your man, the American Predator, Daniel James.
As simple as it gets. Look at 37 years of age compared to 26, 11-0. 42-13, meaning this is his 56th professional fight. All that experience, will that be the difference maker?
It's time for featherweight action. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA moves now to the featherweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 146 pounds even tonight. He makes his Bellator debut, bringing an undefeated professional record, 11 victories, no defeats, presenting Timur Imamshafi. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 145.2 pounds, the veteran holds a professional record of 42 wins, 13 defeats, ranked at number 7, the two-time world title challenger, Daniel Drake Weichel. And the referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
No, back up for me. Back up, back up, back up. We're not doing a face-off. Behind that line.
No official face-off, but they're about to face off here in featherweight competition. Again, Daniel Weichel turning 38 later this month. Timur Khizriev, he turns 27 tomorrow.
Let's
so
go.
Weichel, the experience advantage. Khizriev undefeated and entering his physical prime. And there's that kick right away to the midsection of Weichel.
Oh no, that touched the bottom of his chin. That was right there.
And there's an inside low kick. The speed already on display of Khizriev.
Right there with that television, you saw when you saw that big movement as Khizriev gave that feint, you saw Weichel giving all that space. Right there is telling you that, oh, he's fast, I need to move. That's a big tell in the early part of this fight.
There's a right hand behind the left of Khizriev, framing, pawing. Weichel feinting, trying to get Khizriev to bite. There's a body kick from Khizriev and an outside low kick by Weichel. Weichel was supposed to have another opponent, found out that he'd be facing Khizriev the beginning of the month, John, so not too much time. And he was going for to the face.
We talked about that with him, and he said it was actually a good thing for the change. He said that the person that I was working out with, the wrestler that I had brought in, actually mimicked Khizriev more than he did his first opponent. He said, so it actually was a benefit to me. We'll see.
Weichel landed the right. We had Khizriev probably watching the last fight, going for that right uppercut like our last fighter, Daniel James. Oh, and there's a right hand from Khizriev. 2 minutes gone in the first. Exchange.
And you can see Weichel is still fast, but Khizriev's just a little bit faster on those shots.
There's a counter, and now, boy, good exchange here in the center of the cage. Midway point of the opening round. Pumping the jab, and footwork and speed again on display from Khizriev, and there's Weichel. Jumps in and then gets countered.
Weichel coming forward a lot more now in this part of the round, so he's starting to feel a little bit more confident in his ability to counter with Khizriev.
Khizriev mixing up his attack with punches and kicks. He's at double digits in connects, while Weichel right now only credited with landing 5 punches thus far. But again, trying to gather that data, John, and assess what Timur Khizriev is all about. There's another exchange, but the good counter right, popping Weichel's head back.
And you watch how he did that. That was beautifully set up by Khizriev. A counter right landing cleanly.
Final 60 seconds of the first frame, double jab by Khizriev. And there's the change. Oh, nice cartwheel escape by Weichel, the veteran, with some tricks of his own.
Nice grappling by both. Khizriev had that. As he let go of the body, you saw Weichel Coming in, circling out over the top.
Solid 1-2, and then he stops Weichel with the right hand. Weichel's looking to land a front kick, John.
Yeah, Weichel is going to have to be careful.
Oh, kick caught. And again, a couple rights from Israel.
When he's coming in, those counters are catching him every time now. He's going to have to figure out either head movement or foot movement to get himself offline from those shots.
Spinning back kick by Khizriev, who completes his first round in Bellator.
Stop. Clean break. Round 2.
Round 2 of this featherweight fight between number 7 ranked Daniel Weichel and the debuting Timur Khizriev, one of his training partners, Nurmagomedov. He will tangle with Patricky Pitbull December 9th at Bellator 289 in one of the semifinals in the Bantamweight World Grand Prix. We heard from Danny Sabatello and interim champ Rafian Superstocks, and thankfully Big John McCarthy was in there to keep things from overheating.
Both of those guys are so fun to be around. They talk beautiful smack.
These two, well, there's a couple of smacks in the face of Weichel by the 1-2 of Khizriev. Goes downstairs to the legs with a kick.
And again, a beautiful counter right hand. Take a look at those total strikes right there. 37 of 79 for Khizriev. 8 of 43 for Daniel Weichel right now.
Four-punch combination culminated with that right hand to the jaw of Weichel by Khizriev, who's beginning to pick up his pace, the reads, the timing, staying just out of range, and yet, John, as we mentioned, being able to effectively counter. And there's a calf kick. Oh, good counter right hand from Weichel.
Weichel's going to have to start to open up more. He's going to have to go after it. Right now, he's not throwing with enough combinations and not enough as far as the numbers. He's got to start really utilizing his kicks and get his hands going. Because the accuracy is also not quite there right now. And Khizriev just keeps on touching him.
Yeah, Khizriev's just thrown, well, just crashed the 100 strike mark. So he's thrown over 100 strikes. 2 minutes gone in the second round in the fight, I should say, total strikes. And
that's got to be about twice what Weichel is throwing.
And well said, well done, John. Absolutely, 2-1 in the terms of the output. There's a front kick to the body by Khizriev, and he's done a good job of mixing up his attack, and again staying at the perimeter. Weichel taking a chance, costing him now because he's on his back with Khizriev in top position. Khizriev though backs away.
And this is a lot of people when they see a Dagestani fighter, they think of Vadim Nemkov and that it's going to be that crushing, wrestling. Well, Khizriev comes from Moegenburg and Zabit and all them. They love the stand-up. They utilize the wrestling, but they like to be in the stand-up. And most of his fights are him utilizing his stand-up and sometimes going to the ground.
And of course, Weichel very comfortable on the ground with 22 submissions, but right now in a butt scoop position where with 2 minutes left, Khizriev, I guess, doing just enough to, it's almost like Ali and Inoki all over again. Boy, Ali's legs were never the same.
That had a little bit of a different rule set. They didn't get much for Inoki to do besides that.
And of course, Antonio Inoki recently passing away. He will be honored New Year's Eve as part of Bellator MMA versus Ryzen. From the storied Saitama Super Arena, double jab, beautifully done, splitting the guard of Weichel. Khizriev doing a good job of establishing the jab and doing a good job in almost every department.
Yeah, take a look at the total kicks there. Total punches landed. He's just way ahead right now. And that jab, he's now starting to establish that jab. And it's touching the mark, and that's only going to open up his other tools.
Went for the body kick. Weichel looking to counter with the calf kick downstairs. A minute left in the second. Again, an effective jab for Khizriev. Weichel trying to parry it. Catches that kick attempt, but Khizriev able to escape, lunging it with the left, and again, the effective counter from Khizriev.
Very nice job, and you notice he has no problem switching from southpaw to orthodox or back. And you really can't see a style where you say, well, he's just much better in this stance than he is in the other. He is good with both.
And he's obviously the advantage in this range, John, in terms of being very effective with his striking and avoiding most of the damage of Weichel, although Weichel's landed the occasional counter as well.
Speed's been the big difference.
Yes. Footwork and the speed of the Bellator newcomer, Timur Khizriev. We are through 2. Third and final round. How do you have it after 2 on your unofficial scorecard?
Oh, right now I have Khizriev up 20-18. He has been the leader in this dance the entire time. He's landed the better shots. His speed is starting to take over, and the counter shots have been outstanding.
Nice, beautiful left hand. The punch placement to the body, and immediately upstairs. Lightning quick speed, John.
It's the real difference, and this is what happens when a fighter, and look, Daniel Weichel is a great fighter, and I love watching the fight, and he's not slow, but comparative to Khizriev, you can see there's a speed difference, and that's causing him the problems.
Snaps the jab again through the guard of Weichel. Very active with that lead left hand is Timur Khizriev, and again switching stances, and Weichel changed levels for a moment. Thought better of it after the reaction of Khizriev. A minute gone here in the final round. Double jab again by Khizriev.
And you look.
Nice counter right.
That was a beautiful right hand over the top. Not a lot of MMA fighters utilize the jab like you'll see in boxing, but Khizriev is doing a great job with it. It's setting up all of his offense for the most part.
You know, Vadim Nemkov likes to use the jab. He is our defending light heavyweight champion. He and Corey Anderson meet in the rematch in the $1 million light heavyweight Grand Prix final in the main event after their first fight declared a no contest back in April after an accidental clash of heads. Opened a big cut over the left eye. Nemkov, as Weichel closes the distance and pins Khizriev on the fence and takes him to the mat, gets his back.
And a beautiful job. You saw how Weichel used his leg to pick up the leg of Khizriev. That's what helped him bring him to the ground.
Began training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at 15, and Daniel Weichel, again, more than half of his 42 wins have come via form of submission, including 10 rear naked chokes, which he's in a position right now to maybe try to work on.
He is. He needs to be very careful, though, as far as the position he's in. He's also got that leg right now, but he can go into a Suluev stretch. There's all kinds of different attacks. He's just trying to figure out what's the best thing I can do at this moment and not get too high.
That's exactly what it looks like he is beginning to think about, is that patented Suluev stretch. Not a comfortable feeling for anyone. And now looking to snatch the neck. And backdoor escape by Khizriev. Although down arm. Weichel transitions, looking for the armbar. Khizriev defends well and escapes. And this is probably why Khizriev was content to back away from Weichel when he had him down.
Well, Weichel's a black belt under Thomas, and so he understands the ground. He's got a good submission game. Khizriev was just...
And it's obvious Khizriev has the advantage in the stand-up right now.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Thanks to the money punch, the fundamental stick, the jab. But he's been knocking, you know, he's been tempting with that right uppercut as well, has Khizriev. But Weichel gets sniped with that straight left, and you're right, we need to see an uptick in the offensive output of Daniel Weichel.
I don't know if Daniel can do that based upon, look, he's put out a lot trying to work hard in this round, and he's had his opportunities. It's just the speed is causing him a problem. He's pressing. He just can't get his shots off based upon Khizriev's speed.
There's a jab from Weichel, but again, 80 of 188. and counting 18 of 96 for Weichel. So one-way traffic in all facets of this fight. Under a minute left in the fight. And the jumping knee.
He's hurt.
Weichel tagging his rib. He nailed him. And you're right, momentarily bothered, beginning to recover here. So Daniel Weichel looking for the dramatic conclusion, and he needs it in this fight. Continues to eat the jab of Khizriev.
Oh,
a kick to the face.
The front kick landed.
So two major strikes by Weichel in this round, and yet Khizriev still standing, looking to remain unbeaten in his Bellator MMA debut. Plenty to like from the fighter from Dagestan as they go the distance.
Beautiful. Watch this knee. Just missed a little bit off of that. But he landed a kick up here earlier too. Big shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Michael Bell, scores the fight 29-28. While judges Brian Pacheco and Scott Jones both see it the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Timur Imamshafi.
The lightweight championship hangs in the balance. Let's take a closer look at the numbers for this lightweight title fight.
You can take a look at the numbers in the age, 36 compared to 24. The records are there. It's that 5'11". Usman is a very tall fighter, and he fights tall, and that can become a problem for Patricky if he can't get inside.
With the championship introductions here once again, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime here at Wintrust Arena. We're set now for tonight's double main event, leading off with 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Tonight's world title fight sanctioned by the Illinois State Athletic Commission, Director Nancy Ilg. And now first, introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 154.8 pounds in his first world title challenge, the #1 ranked contender brings 15 professional victories, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated challenger, Usman Nurmagomedov. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 154 pounds even. In the first defense of his world title, he enters with 24 professional victories, 10 defeats. From Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, the defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Patricky Pitbull. The referee in charge, McDonald.
Fighters to the center. All right, gentlemen, this is 5 rounds for the Bellator lightweight title. We went over the rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. If you'd like, touch gloves now, and the best of luck to you. Return to your corners.
The maiden voyage for Patricky Pitbull as lightweight champion. It's all about the belt, and for Pitbull, looking to knock off Nurmagomedov, hand him his first defeat. This is the first time that Nurmagomedov is competing in a 5-round fight. Round number 1. And we are underway from the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. And already, Nurmagomedov, who has a crafty cavalcade of kicks in his arsenal, goes that route to initiate contact.
Yeah, one of the things with the Pitbull brothers, they like to take the center of the cage and then let their opponent come to them and throw counters on them. If you are Patricky in this fight, you cannot just stand in the center. You've got to actually push forward and crush that space, or else you're going to be facing all of these different kicks that will be coming your way.
Yeah, Patricky Pitbull wants to make his presence known in the pocket, but he has to navigate a minefield of strikes from Nurmagomedov, who is able to transition and just be fluid and dynamic, and again already showing how many different kicks in the first minute.
That's exactly right. It's just gonna continue to build. We've seen when Usman gets confident in a fight, it is not a good thing for their opponent. Things just start going downhill fast for him.
Nurmagomedov going back and forth to orthodox, now southpaw, looking for that side kick, and the crowd here in Chicago chanting. There is Patricky Pitbull, the reigning featherweight champion, who well avenged his brother's loss to Michael Chandler, becoming lightweight champion, and then vacating the title in order to give his older brother an opportunity to live his dream as the Bellator king of the lightweight division. And of course, a knockout victory tonight would break the tie with Michael Venom Page and make him the KO king in Bellator MMA with 11. But that's easier said than done against a guy who's yet to taste defeat, and already the kicks beginning to deliver dividends.
That was a nice check by Usman on that kick by Patricky. We'll see how much he continues to throw his kick now based upon that check.
Inside kick, and there's an oblique kick, and again, he's able to, with one sequence with the same foot, do 2 or 3 different kicks.
And you got to figure right now, you know, he's probably kicked somewhere between 10 to 15 times, maybe 20.
I can tell you right now, he is 12 of 420 according to our stats, so well done, Mr. McCarthy. Meanwhile, Pitbull 2 for 2, but it is a kicking clinic early on for Usman Nurmagomedov, the challenger.
And those kicks tell you one thing. We talked about the range and distance.
Yes.
That means that he has established, he's been able to maintain that range and distance, and that is not a good marker for Patricky in winning this fight. You have got to crush that distance. You're gonna have to go inside, step inside and throw your hands.
Speaking of steps, John, what about the footwork of Nurmagomedov? So fluid, so incredibly physical.
And this is the whole part. See, everyone looks at the way Khabib used to fight, and look, he was fantastic. But they are different fighters. One loves the stand-up, one loved the ground. And you can see how much time and effort Usman has put into his stand-up game, because when he wants to flow, he just moves very well. Always balanced.
Started Muay Thai when he's 7, freestyle wrestling at 8, MMA at 11. So again, the generation that is born into MMA, and there's that striking from the champion Patricky Pitbull. Unleashed a 2-punch combination, but continues to be tagged on the lead leg, and there's a head kick with the left leg of Nurmagomedov.
That was a nice step in attack by Patricky, but he's got to maintain once he steps inside. Don't let that separation occur. Keep pressing forward and use your hands to do damage.
Final minute of the first. Nurmagomedov fighting at range, resets. Patricky Pitbull, cognizant of the fact that this youngster can attack at different angles and different ways, and
you got to figure Usman spent over 3 months in Abu Dhabi training with Islam Makhachev, both of them having championship fights. And so everything that he did there and all of the wrestling defense work he did against Islam is only going to pay off for him here against Patricky if Patricky works for those takedowns.
Makhachev, new UFC champion, and you look at AKA, which has been a pipeline of champions, Vadim Nemkov, Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and of all of those fighters, Javier Mendez, the trainer, thinks Usman Nurmagomedov may be the best. Usman, who's a
Umar. That's Umar, yeah. Usman's brother behind him.
Yeah, bantamweight in the UFC. They're everywhere, John.
Yeah, tell me about it.
They are taking over the sport, and it's incredible to witness, and just how incredibly popular the Dagestani contingent is. Getting a very good reception here in Chicago, and Nurmagomedov now with that stance. There's a kick to the midsection of Patricky Pitbull, and Pitbull still kind of just taxiing on the runway. Has had that one moment in the first round, stepped in, delivered the 1-2, but very hard to try to close the distance and try to get on track here as he goes for an oblique kick.
There he is. That's a nice explosion from it. But again, you've got to use your feet to get inside. You can't lunge over.
And of course, with all of the kicks coming from different angles and different distances, Patricky would be try to maybe time it with the counter or maybe catch it. He goes inside with a low kick. Because let's face it, Patricky Pitbull, also a BJJ black belt. We talked about it, John. What would be the chance of a guy who known for his power wants to knock out Nurmagomedov, but would it be wise for him to try to take it to the ground against a guy who's also been very, very proficient in grappling?
Look, if you're an MMA fighter, it's much easier to fight someone that's not going to try to take you down anytime, because then all you're doing is fighting the stand-up. If you at least try to take him down and make him think about it, then he has to at least deal with that instead of just dealing with the strikes. There's more for him to think about. It slows down his offense. It's a good thing. I just don't, oh, that was a clean.
Beautiful, setting up the takedown as he baited him with that left hand. An incredible transition, and Nurmagomedov has the takedown on Pitbull.
And that was a beautiful counter hand that you watch Usman land on Patricky. That snapped his head back. Watch that left hand, man. That left hand just blasted.
Using the left hand to set up the takedown. And as we near the midway point of the second, we'll see how the champion is able to work from his back, controlling the posture of the challenger. Hammer fist, short hammer fist, and an elbow from Nurmagomedov. So trying to do damage to the champion, not just laying and praying here. Of course, dynamic Dagestani fighter.
A lot of shoulder pressure. This is something you're working out with someone like Makhachev. That's a guy that can create an unbelievable amount of pressure. You learn when you're working with someone like that how to create your own pressure. Usman on top is not good. I said from the beginning, whichever fighter ends up in the top position, it's not good for their opponent. And right now, Pitbull needs to work his way out.
Elbow from Nurmagomedov, and Pitbull trying to do just that, trying to perhaps use the fence, but he's now back in a supine position courtesy of Nurmagomedov.
See, every one of these elbows you see Usman landing, that just, it's like punching a hole in the gas tank. It damages you. It just starts to make you slower, and that's something that Pitbull cannot give up in this fight.
Oh, commentary between the two fighters. Body head with the right hand from Nurmagomedov.
If Usman is talking, he got that habit from his cousin Habib, who used to talk to every one of his opponents. I did enough of his fights, and he would sit there telling them, "You need to quit. I'm going to smash you. Just stop."
He's trying to smash Patricky Pitbull here, and Pitbull, meanwhile, desperately trying to get out from underneath, but Usman Nurmagomedov continuing to feed the elbows, and the right hand's under the armpit now of the champion.
You can see that beautiful lacing of the arm that he's got on that left arm.
Nurmagomedov looking to get the hooks in.
What a beautiful transition. Look how he sliced that knee inside. He's looking for the choke.
He's got 5 submission victories, including 2 rear naked chokes. Pitbull has lost via submission once against Lloyd Woodard back at Bellator 62 10 years ago. And it looks like Patricky Pitbull may be able to survive round 2, but it's all Usman Nurmagomedov. Will he survive?
That round right there just gave Usman a ton of confidence.
Oh, a ton of respect there by Nurmagomedov as they start round 3. Starts from southpaw again, pawing with the jab, oblique kick, and there, that Patricky Pitbull trying to initiate the explosive attack, John. And again, defending the takedown attempt there as strike totals all Nurmagomedov.
82 of 113, 7 of 17.
73%.
Unbelievable.
Body kick by Nurmagomedov, right kick to the face by Nurmagomedov.
Right now, Nurmagomedov is just breaking Pitbull down, just slowly diminishing him with every shot that he's landing. Pitbull can't figure out the way to break that distance.
Any suggestions?
Look, it's a whole lot easier to say than it is to do, but he's got to take chances now. He's got to say, hey, I've got to step inside, and when he steps inside, move your feet inside, bring your head off that center line, and start throwing shots straight down the pipe. Uppercuts are good.
Nurmagomedov circling to his left, and of course that right hand of Patricky Pitbull, his money shot. There's Nurmagomedov again, just keeping his lead hand from southpaw, John, just out there, keeping Pitbull thinking, keeping him at bay. And there's the side kick to the breadbasket by Nurmagomedov.
And he's showing you the respect that he has for that right-hand power of Pitbull. Look at where his left hand is. It's right up, right cover.
Where it's supposed to be, right?
The entire time, exactly.
Yeah, the fight IQ of this 24-year-old, and again, it goes all the way back to the patriarch, the late Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the father of Habib Nurmagomedov, and what he was able to accomplish with the youngsters and the family and the surrounding area. And Usman Nurmagomedov, as we mentioned, looking to become an undefeated champion, and there is Javier Mendez and other members of the camp.
That's Abu Bakr there. You're seeing up front. These guys train together, they live together, they do everything together, and everything is just about helping each other. You got to give, and they're going to give back, and you can see the results, and that's what they've learned from Abdulmanap.
Habib, Usman, Umar, and Abu Bakr, 76-3-1 as mixed martial artists. I mean, incredible record.
And honestly, if you talk about that record, it's Abu Bakr that has the 3 losses and the 1 draw. All the rest of them undefeated.
Minute and a half left in the third. Nurmagomedov content to be at this distance and switching stances, and again looking to land the kick upstairs. But Patricky Pitbull trying to move forward, but forced on his back foot. Now he switches stances.
We talked at the beginning of this fight, the whole element of the range and how he's got to crush that, and he has not figured out a way to do it as of this third round.
Nurmagomedov just landed the jab with the right hand and misses with the 1-2.
Nice hard kick to the body by Pitbull. He needs to do more of that.
And there, Nurmagomedov again, he's the one crashing into the range. And he has just landed his 100th strike of the fight. He's thrown 147. Meanwhile, for the champion, 12 of 31 thus far. Paltry output thanks to the pressure and the kicking attack of Nurmagomedov. So we are headed to the championship rounds, and again, the first time that the challenger's in a 5-round fight.
What's up? Clean break.
Incredibly high by any means, but it's been Usman Nurmagomedov, and we appreciate the respect, but the fans would like to see them get it on here, John.
Why can't you like your opponent?
I mean, wow.
Take a look at the total strikes here. 102 of 152 at 67%.
Oh, there it's well, using his speed, but there Pitbull able to escape the takedown attempt because it was a naked shot.
That's right. And that is the difference. When you shoot that naked shot comparatively without utilizing your hands to set it up, it is a much more difficult thing to do against a guy that knows how to wrestle. So Usman has shown he's had a very good attack with his hands, has set those takedowns up well. And in the second round, when he got it, you saw how well he did on the ground.
And we just saw a nice inside calf kick by the challenger again, wearing down the lead leg of the champion, Patricky Pitbull. And Pitbull fires off an inside kick that Nurmagomedov absorbed. Side kick. Nurmagomedov racking up the points. Oh, and beautiful combination, yes, by the challenger on the face of the champion, Patricky Pitbull, and his face is busted up.
Pitbull doesn't like having his back against the fence, so you know when you see him getting close to that fence, he's not comfortable with what's happening in the fight.
Double jab from Nurmagomedov, and then Pitbull coming forward, but unable to score anything of note. And again, that continued movement by Nurmagomedov, moving in and out of range. And continues to just wear him down with kicks.
And I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with Patricky and what the kind of condition that he's in, because all those shots with the kicks that Usman has landed to the body, that front kick, the side kick, all of it.
I mean, the numbers are astronomical for Nurmagomedov in terms of his domination. And there's a body kick by the champion. Minutes left in the penultimate round, and champ resets, hands down, backing up. Nurmagomedov flicks the front kick to the midsection, and Patricky Pitbull just...
But you notice how he was leaning more. You saw how he was leaning forward as he was coming forward, because his feet were planted. He's trying to land with power. He's got to slide his feet in to those situations so he can come with more than just that 1-2. He can get to the 3-4.
It's almost as if the champion may even be in a way trying to bait Nurmagomedov, you know, putting it down, because you wonder who's going to lead the dance.
Right,
we know that Pitbull's an effective counter striker as well, especially as you mentioned with that right hand.
Yeah, he has been throughout his career, but in this fight, Usman has him where he is unsure exactly what's coming, where it's coming, and when he should throw.
Yeah, a moment for Pitbull to again throw a combination, but Nurmagomedov darting in and out. Just 50 seconds left in the fourth. And there again, the kick connects to the face. The feints being employed by Nurmagomedov.
Pitbull has got to commit. He's got to sit down and say, hey, look, I'm behind in this fight. I need to start making some big movements towards Usman to land with the power that I have, because he does. He's got power in each hand. Doesn't matter if it's the right or left. If it lands, it can hurt Usman or put him out.
Minutes left in this fight, John. I just got to ask, part of the traffic, unofficial scorecard, and why?
Unofficial scorecard, I have Nurmagomedov winning every round so far.
And Nurmagomedov now, Patricky Pitbull, knowing that it's now or never, beginning to put pressure on Nurmagomedov.
This is what he needs to do. It's going to be an L if you don't go after him and you don't hurt him and you don't get rid of him in this round. It's going to be an L no matter what. So
and finally aggression.
Let it hang out.
The champion is Nurmagomedov. Went for the takedown. Continues to deliver oblique kicks to the lead leg of the champion, but Patricky Pitbull definitely trying to ratchet up the offense. In the meantime, double jab and and it ends up with Patricky Pitbull on his back again, courtesy of Nurmagomedov.
That was a beautiful takedown. Beautifully set up by Nurmagomedov. Pitbull was looking for him to strike, dropped levels on him, took him straight down.
And the challenger has dominated in every facet of the fight.
So far, he has been the dominant fighter.
Closed guard where really Patricky Pitbull has to try to find a way to get Nurmagomedov off of him, and it's going to be tough sledding for the lightweight champion as Usman Nurmagomedov, who's blood now, even more blood on the face of the champ.
Yeah, right now all you're seeing from Patricky is he's holding tight, trying to keep that position where no posture so I don't get hit with big shots.
Holding him tight not going to help him hold on to the goal.
No. The more that he holds him tight, the further away that belt is marching over to Usman's corner.
Bellator lightweight champion, a bloody mess. Struggling on his back as Usman Nurmagomedov keeping it close, tightly to his chest, now looking to pass guard.
Nice hip movement by Usman, but a very good job of keeping that guard by Patricky. But again, right now, at this point in the fight, keeping the guard can keep him from being hurt and damaged anymore. But it's definitely not going to help him in winning this fight.
2 minutes away from a changing of the guard in the Bellator lightweight division. Usman Nurmagomedov in top position, working from the closed guard of the champion throughout this fight. It's been all Usman Nurmagomedov. He's thrown 225 strikes. Oh, and now there's a mat return and right onto full mount, John.
Minute 35 left. We saw what happened last time with the elbows.
And Usman Nurmagomedov in prime position to try to close the show and make history as the first Bellator champion from Dagestan.
Usman putting a lot of pressure, that shoulder pressure. You're seeing how it's forcing Pitbull's head to the side.
Final minute and Pitbull.
Nice bump by Pitbull.
Beautiful sweep. And Pitbull now has to let it all hang out. Less than a minute left, potentially in his title reign.
But you saw right away when he got turned, what did Usman do? Feet right on the hips, pushed him off, right up to his feet.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I know it's a cliche, John, but here it is, 25 seconds left. Patricky Pitbull has to look. If he is looking to be the king of knockouts, he's got to try, because Usman Nurmagomedov is well on his way.
He's got to launch a Hail Mary.
Of 24 years old, of moving to 16-0 and becoming the champion, and Pitbull explodes, but time runs out.
Let's take a look at some of these highlights from the beginning. That push kick, all of the variety of kicks, and then the use of the hands to get Pitbull covering up, dropping levels. When he got to the top position, he landed big, heavy shots that did damage. The wrestling was a huge difference for Usman Nurmagomedov. He was able to take Pitbull down multiple times in the fight, and when he did, opening up a big cut with that elbow right there, gets the back, takes it back down with a mat return, gets the back off of that, right to mount, landed some big shots from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's first world title fight, we go now to your judges at cage side. Your first Scott Jones scores the fight 50-45, while judges Sal D'Amato and Michael Bell both see it the same at 50-44. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the new Bellator lightweight champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. That was a dominant performance. You put on a beautiful striking exhibition, beautiful takedowns, beautiful ground control. How does it feel to be the second lightweight champion taking a belt back to Dagestan this year?
Oh, thank you so much for everybody, thank you. You know, honestly, I don't believe this, brother, really. I have only 24 years, and look at this guy. This guy and his father make me, you know. These guys, look at him. Salam alaikum. Oh, salam alaikum. Boyas damo yedi.
Well, that's Khabib Nurmagomedov there. That is your cousin. He seems a little happy. How does it feel for you to make him so happy with what you've done?
Brother, for me, this is so important to know that this is like, I don't give you like what I feel now. I don't say like, I feel it great, you know, like now I believe I can everything. Like, you know, like what human can, like I know. You know, a lot of things I want to say, like I have a little barrier for my language, and I will improve this. And now I'm so happy, a lot of emotion, you know. I don't know, I just want to say thank you. Like, first of all, alhamdulillah, after I know a lot of guys, everybody from around the world send me message, so support me. And thank you guys, thank you. And thank you, my manager, Ali, my brother. This is not only manager. Scott Coker, thank you so much for my choice, for chance. And coach, you know everything, coach. I love you so much. You, oh, Habib, you guys make me. Thank you for my team, thank you for my family. Всем спасибо, кто за меня болеет. Честно сказать, очень сильно рад. Не хотел подводить. Сегодня здесь пришли очень много братьев. Папах тоже видно в зале. Всем спасибо. Всем. И особенно Тада, ассаламу алейкум. I'm done.
We say
thank you.
Thank you for everyone who like support, and he said thank you for my family. He says salam alaikum, my father.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the new champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
The #1 contender, Corey Anderson. $1 million and the championship up for grabs as we replay the Grand Prix final.
And the one thing I point out here, 203.8 and 204.2. These guys came in way underweight, which is telling you they worked their butts off to get prepared for this fight.
With the official introductions for tonight's main event, here is Michael C. Williams.
Live on Showtime tonight from Chicago, the time has come once again for the $1 million light heavyweight World Grand Prix final. Concluding tonight's double main event, we go 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Championship. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 6'3", weighing in 204.2 pounds. After a dominant run through the Grand Prix early rounds, the #1 ranked contender, now with 16 professional victories, 5 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Illinois native, the challenger, Corey Overtime Anderson. across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 203.8 pounds. Tonight, he again attempts his third world title defense, entering with 15 professional victories, only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the defending Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Vadim Nemkov. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters, gone over the rules in the back. This is for the light heavyweight championship. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead and do it now. Come out ready to fight.
Bellator Grand Prix belt and the Bellator Light Heavyweight Championship both up for grabs, and don't forget that $1 million bonus check. The rematch.
Ready.
Anderson Nemkov starts now. In their first meeting back in April, Nemkov and even Corey Anderson expected it, John. Just like that, Nemkov utilizing kicks, able to establish the jab, the footwork, and had a good opening round in their first meeting.
He did. But I think during one of those kicks in that first meeting, he got checked.
Yes.
And I think it hurt his foot, and I think he went away from those kicks.
Good point.
And it made a big difference in the fight. Corey Anderson took over from that point. He cannot have that happen in this match.
There's a double jab that lands for Nemkov. And again lands the jab on Anderson. Of course, Corey Anderson working his striking. Oh, 1-2 from the champion with Mark Henry, who was, of course, big factor. Boy, much faster start to the rematch, John, for Corey Anderson especially.
Corey is starting really faster, but you saw that takedown attempt. You saw him spin out of it and actually land the back fist. That's what Vadim needs to do. Do not let him get the free opportunity and not have to pay for it.
Mentioned Mark Henry, of course. He was behind the legendary Frankie Edgar, who his illustrious career came to an end last week, and I know how much he's inspired Corey Anderson as well. Frankie Edgar more hard than Valentine's Day, and I know he's watching tonight, but for Corey Anderson now here in this first minute and a half of the fight, been on the receiving end of some counter shots like this from Nemkov.
Nemkov has been very successful with that right hand landing against Corey. Corey needs to be very careful. It would behoove Corey to start moving towards his right a little bit to take some of the sting off that right hand.
The crowd looking to rally Corey, but he gets tagged again. The jab in full effect for Vadim Nemkov. And Anderson has hinted at going for the takedown, but Nemkov has been able to stop him, and Nemkov really working behind the jab, John.
This is very similar to what we saw.
Single leg.
First, this is the difference. See the tree topping. That's something that you don't get out of the international wrestling. You get a lot of it out of folk style. Beautiful body lock, takedown. Right back up to his feet. That's a big element for Vadim right there, but Corey's still on it.
Nice scramble, nice slip, and good start to this rematch for the light heavyweight crowd, just past the midpoint of the first round.
See, and this works very well for Corey, because even when he's not successful, he's pushing the pace on Vadim. He's making Vadim work. And one thing we know about Corey, he's got a big gas tank, big lungs, and he knows if he's tired, he's making you tired.
And he's got good head movement as well, able to slip and rip the counter, but Nemkov has been effective with the jab. Under 2 minutes left here in the first. Anderson comes forward, overhand right, misses.
Corey needs to settle down with those hands as far as winging the big shot. He's going to do better. He's got a very good, stiff, straight jab. Use that, and the right hand straight down the pipe.
Anderson susceptible to those low kicks, and Vadim Nemkov just attacked the lead leg again, and both miss with swinging punches. A minute and a half left in what has been a fast start to this rematch. Fedor Emelianenko, he will challenge Ryan Bader for the heavyweight title in what has been now confirmed as his retirement fight of what is a legendary career, February 4th on CBS. But right now he is watching his protege Vadim Nemkov defend the title.
might have been a little clash of the heads again on that takedown attempt. And this is, although Corey Anderson is not getting these takedowns, he's making Vadim have to deal with them, and that is an important element. And they did clash heads. At my ISO.
Right cross, right uppercut though by Anderson.
That clash of heads happened again. Nobody was cut. That's good, but these guys are going after it.
And there's a right cross that connects for Nemkov, and Anderson misses, lunging in with the left hook. 30 seconds left in the round. So again, much like the first meeting, a strong start in the striking department in the first round for the... And Vadim Nemkov, getting back kick, dropped Anderson. Anderson bounces to his feet, snatches the single, but high drama at the end of the round.
And although Corey looks good right now, we're going to see what effect that kick had in this round.
I mentioned the stats. What about the unofficial score, John, on your scorecard?
Well, I have Vadim Nemkov winning that round 10-9.
For the reasons we've talked about.
Absolutely. I love the pressure that Corey Anderson continues to try to put. That was a big shot landed by Vadim.
Anderson looking to close the distance. Nemkov able to keep that from happening. Body kick by Nemkov.
So far, what we've seen more is that trip down to American Top Team and all the wrestling that he did there is starting to pay off in this fight.
Training with the likes of newly minted Bellator middleweight champion Johnny Eblin and others. And you're right, the first fight, Nemkov talked about overtraining, having had other issues, but spent some time this camp in Thailand working on his striking, and down at ATT working on his wrestling, and it's a striking display here tonight as Anderson looks for the takedown, stuffed by Nemkov.
Now Nemkov used a lot of energy in picking Anderson up, sliding him up right there, so that's a good thing for Corey as far as to continue to go back to it, make him have to use that power. Nice
lead hook. Yep, lead left hook there by the champion Nemkov. And again leads with the left. Feinting by Anderson, unable to pull the trigger. And it's the movement, the pressure, the speed of Vadim Nemkov, although Anderson landed the jab, and again Anderson looking for the takedown. Clinches with Nemkov. Bigger Anderson trying to back Nemkov to the cage, and Nemkov doing a good job. Look at this battle, John.
Fantastic job of continuing the circle, not allowing Corey to push him into the cage.
Interesting, the grip and the way he's keeping his arms out and able to break off and reset at the center of the cage. So a great start to this rematch for the defending champion, Vadim Nemkov. Spinning back kick again for Nemkov. And there, Anderson slipping the jab and doesn't return fire.
Very nice little head movement left and right by Corey.
2 minutes left in the second. Crowd here in Chicago looking to rally. Illinois, Corey Anderson in the biggest fight of his life.
It really looks like Corey Anderson shook off that kick that landed at the end of the first round. He's not showing any effects from it. He's looking good.
Spinning back fist attempt by Nemkov.
Both these guys throwing a lot of heat at times.
Nemkov has already thrown 137 strikes with just over a minute left here in the second round total. And there's Anderson. That's with the left.
That was a nice left hand. Missed that opportunity on the takedown. Just came up with the left hand.
Final 60 seconds of the second stanza inside. Low kick by Anderson and timeout after.
Hey, right here. Corey, over here.
Anderson got popped.
There's an accident. Inside kick. You got to keep it a little higher, okay? You're right there.
Not sure how clean it landed, but it did land. You could hear it.
Yeah, Anderson popping Nemkov. And wow,
that's pretty clean.
To split the uprights.
Nemkov obviously didn't hurt him. He's right back to it.
Right back to it, indeed.
Which says a lot when you're thinking about it, because if he was getting tired, would he not have taken more time? Because he's in control that time. So obviously he's feeling good in this fight right now.
Oh, and a much better second stanza for the defending champion compared to what happened in their first meeting when Anderson was able to secure the takedowns.
Corey really looking to put the pressure on Vadim.
Round number 3. Double jab, double pump in the jab as the defending champion. Well, Corey Anderson looking again for the takedown, and again defended by Nemkov. Now 0 for 7 for Corey Anderson.
Completely different than the first time they matched up.
And you mentioned it, the specific reason he went to Florida was to work on his wrestling, both offensively and, more importantly, defensively.
That's exactly why. The defense was the biggest part. Get used to the way a folk-style wrestler goes after that single or double leg that Corey utilizes, the tree topping, and he's done very well at stopping all of it so far.
Nemkov has done a great job of continuing to land the jab and to keep Corey Anderson from delivering punches. Blood on the face, along the eye, the right eye of Vadim Nemkov. Double jab again by the champ. Doesn't follow with the right hand, and he has a good right hand as well.
He's got a very good right hand, a lot of power on it.
There's a left to the body, the jab to the face of Anderson. And Nemkov ducking underneath that sweeping left hook from Anderson. Anderson looking to time the shot, and again under overhook, and now a clinch by Nemkov. He's done a tremendous job of stymieing the takedown attempts.
Yes, he has, but the one thing, if you're Corey Anderson, do not get frustrated by that. Just continue on. Say, nope, didn't get that one. Let me just keep working. But Corey Anderson now has a cut over his right eye.
1, 2, 3 by Nemkov. Nemkov looking for the takedown. Anderson putting on the pressure.
That was a big, when you saw Nemkov back off, again, there was a clash. Now it was on his jaw, but Corey Anderson's head clashed into the jaw of Nemkov.
Anderson lands the right, slipping his head to the left. Left hook, and now the crowd beginning to sense that Corey Anderson trying to work his way back into this fight, midway point of the third.
A lot of people, they don't realize, first off, Corey cannot strike with his head in any fashion, and we have had people that the head landing on the jaw hurts the person enough to put him down, knock him out. It definitely can do damage.
There's a counter jab from Corey Anderson. 2 minutes left in the third round, and Nemkov, not as many kicks in this round. Well, I say that, he goes for one, of course he does.
Really hurt you.
Yeah. But it's pressure from Anderson, and yet the terrific takedown defense of Vadim Nemkov. Now 0 for 10, John, in the takedown department for Corey Anderson, which, let's face it, the takedowns, ground and pounds, his bread and butter.
And right now, Nemkov is just slowly adding up as far as the strikes. He's the one landing. He's throwing more. He's landing a little bit more. Corey's going to have to up the accuracy. Looked like a mouthpiece came out.
Nemkov doubling up on the jab, but not following it up with the right hand. 60 seconds left in the third round.
You got to wonder, maybe he hurt his right hand somewhere along here, because as you're saying, he is really using that left hand a lot, but being very, very frugal in when he throws the right like he just did.
They're definitely judicious when it comes to delivering the right. Meanwhile, there's a left from Anderson. So, in the first fight, a strong start by the champion in the opening round thanks to his jab and kicks, but the second and third was all about the takedown and the offensive top pressure, the ground and pound from Anderson before the clash of heads in the final seconds of the third, and we are wrapping up the third round here in the rematch, but a much different fight.
Completely different fight right now. The difference being Corey has not been able at any moment to get this fight to the ground.
He does have to make adjustments.
He does. He's going to have to change up his ability to land the shots, because first off, he's not throwing as much as Nemkov, and he's not landing as much. So it's just a matter of, then you look at power. Well, Nemkov's been landing with power. Corey's landed a couple of good ones, but it's a matter of he's just not having enough of the wrestling. It hasn't gotten him into him, and he hasn't been able to take him down, and that's what makes Corey so deadly.
And Anderson doesn't check those low kicks to the lead leg again. A shot from long distance, telegraphed, read beautifully by Nemkov, who continues to work the jab, follows it up with a right uppercut. And you saw the unofficial scorecard of Big John McCarthy. It's Nemkov pitching a shutout. And now, there's Anderson crushing space and has Nemkov along the fence, but immediately the champion able to spin out, reset.
Corey throws a nice jab, but the counter by Vadim lands with a little bit more. And normally it's Corey Anderson that is the better counter striker.
Right.
He does a great job with his counter strikes. And in this matchup, he has actually been out counter striked by Vadim for most of it.
Nemkov really loves to use what is a really important punch, and we've talked about it throughout our time working together. The jab is so effective in all forms of combat sports, and it's proving to be a punch that's dictating the terms of this fight for Nemkov.
Absolutely, man. If you've got a good, stiff, straight jab, you can set another fighter back on their heels at any moment in the fight, and that takes energy away from them. It sets them off balance. It makes them feel not comfortable in the fight. Right there, beautiful low calf kick.
Yes.
He needs to go right back to it. I did knock him down with that. Go right back, just like he just did.
And it is definitely taking a toll on Corey Anderson's takedown attempts. We're becoming more and more telegraphed.
Absolutely. When you take away that foundation, like you're seeing happen right now with Nemkov and those kicks, it makes it very difficult for Corey to utilize that foundation to get those takedowns.
Which again, the mouth guard is out of the mouth of Vadim Nemkov, and frustration beginning to show on the part of Corey Anderson, who not going according to game plan so far tonight. Beautiful jab and the outside low kick by Nemkov.
Yeah, we're going to see if Corey starts to change his stance, because that low calf kick is starting to eat up his left leg.
And he is eating far too many jabs to the face, John.
You know, and his corner told him, hey, we need you to win these 2 rounds. And he's trying, he's going after it. He's just not landing at the same volume as Nemkov.
Nemkov, the 8th Bellator light heavyweight champion, defeated current heavyweight champ Ryan Bader via second-round TKO at Bellator 244 in August of 2020. Anderson coming forward, John.
That was a good right hand landed by Anderson that started it. We'll see if he can.
Looking for the takedown, but continues to be shut down. And man, that mouth guard does not want to stay in the mouth.
Continue to fight, because right now, Corey Anderson has a chance at a takedown. Jason Herzog is not going to stop this. Now he'll stop it.
Stop right there, in your mouth. No more. Ready?
When Corey Anderson was in the UFC, he was a takedown machine and has used those takedown abilities to make it to the final of the Grand Prix. Tonight, Corey Anderson, with 30 seconds left in the penultimate round, is 0 for 13 in the takedown department. Nemkov with a quick peek at the clock, and he is content to let the jab go, continue to keep Anderson at bay, continue to keep Anderson from taking him down. Who will emerge? Grand Prix champion, $1 million richer, and the right to call themselves Bellator light heavyweight champion. It's Vadim Nemkov, light on his feet to kick off round 5, and he continues to sting Anderson with the jab and those low kicks.
Look, he's going to basics that are working for him, and he keeps on going back to them. You can't blame him. That left jab has been fantastic throughout this fight. The low calf kick has done damage. Corey needs to figure out a way to come inside and do damage with his hands that could put him in a position to possibly take it down and get to that ground and pound that he's so effective with.
Corey Anderson told us that he's still fighting to make believers out of his doubters, and everyone who, over the years, from odds makers to even people, media, to former bosses, he wanted his respect, he demanded his respect. Here in Bellator, began his Bellator career, 3 consecutive TKO finishes, and after the no contest in their first meeting, unable to get on track thanks to the improvements of the champion, Vadim Nemkov.
And this is where you've got 2 great fighters. Man, you never know. One night could be Corey Anderson's night, one night could be Vadim Nemkov's. This could go where we have a trilogy, and it could change. But both guys putting a lot out right now. Beautiful right hand by Vadim Nemkov.
Well, Anderson has less than 3.5 minutes to change the complexion of this fight. And there, Nemkov going for the spinning attack again. Anderson moving in. There's the left hand from Anderson. Anderson again. Oh, trying the takedown and get, yes, John, eats the knee and the inability for Anderson to even set up the takedown is a little surprising. 0 for 15.
It's amazing when you think about it. When you know how good Corey is with his takedowns, the fact that Nemkov has stopped that throughout this fight.
A bravura performance in the takedown defense department by Vadim Nemkov.
Well, he definitely is going to owe a steak dinner to everybody over at ATT that helped him to get to this point. Again, unable to bring him down.
And even Corey Anderson moved to a gym in Indianapolis from, working in New Jersey. And of course, we know what Mark Henry has meant to him. But on this night, with 2:19 now left in the fight, Corey Anderson needs something dramatic to happen.
And it's so hard at this point with everything that's happened in the fight. Your arms are full of lactic acid, real heavy. You're still trying to go after it like you're seeing Corey do right here.
Final 2 minutes. Hometown crowd trying to rally the challenger.
Oh!
Crossed by Nemkov.
Solid right hand landed by Nemkov there.
There's There's another calf kick by the champion.
Well, I'll tell you, you can see how that's starting to really stiffen up on Corey. Corey's showing a lot of heart right now, Morrow.
Yes. But sometimes, as one of his good friends, Frankie Edgar, found out too, sometimes heart isn't enough, and we find out here tonight that Corey Anderson unable to land a single takedown against the champion. Vadim Nemkov, meanwhile, has thrown 360 strikes, landed 137 compared to Anderson, who is 64 for 175. Vadim Nemkov came in 7-0 with the 1-0 contest here in Bellator, and bouncing back with one of his more impressive performances as champion, especially when you consider what Corey Anderson is usually capable of.
Absolutely, this is a great performance because we know how good Corey Anderson is as a fighter. This is a guy that's got everything. He's got the wrestling, the stand-up, the gas tank, and Vadim Nemkov has matched that throughout this night. It's been a very impressive performance.
Vadim Nemkov shutting down Corey Anderson in all facets of the fight.
Throughout the night, that jab and that right hand found the mark on Corey Anderson. Corey coming back with some counters, but trying to avoid that jab caused him a lot of distress in that uppercut. Then the low kicks came in and just ate up the left leg of Corey Anderson throughout this fight. A couple of head clashes happened again between Corey and Nemkov, and it's just the way their styles match up. No one was intentionally doing anything wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Brian Pucillo, scores the fight 48-47. Judge Ron McCarthy, 49-46. And your third and final judge, Sal D'Amato, 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. Now the $1 million winner of the light heavyweight world Grand Prix, and still Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Vadim Nemkov.
I'm here with the winner, Vadim Nemkov. Vadim, you put on a masterful performance. There was 15 takedown attempts by Corey Anderson during that fight, and he got absolutely 0. What was the difference that made you able to stop those takedowns this time?
Вадим, отлично ты выступил. Корey Андерсон пытался 15 раз тебя повалить в партер, и все эти 15 раз ты защитил. Почему в этот раз ты смог это сделать?
Потому что я хорошо подготовился. У меня не было никаких подводных камней. И я развил очень высокую скорость, против которой он ничего не смог сделать. В этом заключался мой секрет успеха. Как я говорил, я в реваншах всегда побеждаю, если в меня не верит.
He said, just because I was well prepared, I wasn't distracted, and I kept a very high pace and a lot of movement. And like I said, in rematches, I never lose. You guys didn't believe me.
Not that I didn't believe you, but your left hand, your jab, and that low calf kick were a difference maker in this fight. Was that the plan you had coming in?
Левый удар, джеб и лоу-кик очень помогли тебе в этом бою. Это был план на бой, именно использовать эти приемы.
Да, я хотел держать его на джебе на расстоянии. Я знаю, что он на переднюю ногу сильно опирался, я хотел ее разбить. Но у меня получилось то, что я нарабатывал. Левый джеб, держать его на дистанции, разбить переднюю ногу. Иногда я подключал правую, но он хорошо держит удар, поэтому не получилось свалить его.
He said, yeah, that was a game plan, to keep him away with the jab, and then he's front foot heavy, so I wanted to make sure I kick it and then use the right hand when I can, but he's pretty good at taking punches, so.
Well, I want to congratulate you as the Bellator light heavyweight champion and the Bellator World Grand Prix light heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Vadim Nemkov.